Welcome, everybody, to the One Up Your show for Friday, September the 5th. Oh, my God. It's my freaking birthday.
It's a very special show because it almost didn't even happen.
I know. So, by the way, I'm Garnet Lee. Sitting next to me and around the table here are Shane Bettenhausen, Andrew Pfister, totally doing just the wheels of steel today. He's got on the studio monitors.
They're the backup wheels.
They are the backup wheels.
The rusty wheels.
The spare tire wheels. And that's big fun David Ellis right here with us. And, of course, yes, we do have...
Very special guest.
Very special.
Man of the hour.
Man of the hour, Blackadder himself.
Blackadder?
Blackadder.
Dragon.
That's actually better.
Yeah.
Black Dragon.
It's a great show.
It was a great show. I thought that was the whole thing, but sorry, Black Dragon.
Black Dragon.
There he is, Mr. Jeff Green.
My own father, Jeff Green.
Yeah, my son. Last time we're going to be podcasting together, son. Unless you come on the Brodeo this coming week.
I've been told that I'm never allowed on that show.
If you're ever on, it's got to be this coming
Well, yeah,
week.
maybe you can pull some strings.
Jeff Green's secret admission to me this week. You know, maybe I should have taken that fourth chair when you had it.
Oh, I never said that, Garnet. Give him half a scotch.
Oh, maybe he did.
It all could have turned out differently. If
It all could have been differently. He would have been king of the realm.
Oh, shit. That is a lot of missing scotch. Holy shit.
Well, we're also celebrating.
We're doing well with the scotch.
With a
It's good.
scotch that is the same age as Jeff Green's career at Ziff Davis.
So
Yep.
yes,
Yes, it is.
our whatever his title is, Simon Cox got me the Glen Roths, established in 1879. This is a 14-year-old scotch. It's also a Speyside malt. I hope I pronounced that correctly, and it's fantastic. I have to
It's
say,
14 years old.
it's a 14-year. It's a 14.
So my career at Ziff was longer than this.
It's a
Older than
14-year-old
the
cask,
scotch.
but this one was distilled in 91, so it was distilled 17 years ago.
Okay.
Does this make you reflect on your long and storied career here at Ziff Davis?
It does. And how sad and pathetic a career it was.
Seriously, like what the hell? All right, here's what we're
17
gonna do.
years. What was I thinking?
Here's what we're going to do today. Andrew, we're doing 2 segments, and then were you able to get a cleaned up version of the live show? Yeah, I'll figure it. Yeah, you figured it out? Okay, so here's what we got going on. We're going to do 2 segments. We're going to do what you've been playing first. And the second segment, we're going to do news and just, since Jeff's here, we'll kibitz. We might get faklemmed.
Is that your 2 words,
Yes.
Is that the proper
And we'll have
pronunciation?
bagels.
That's kind of condescending, I feel.
Inappropriate.
Oh, it's fine.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, sure.
He's not your dad.
I can't report to
Why not?
property HR anymore.
I'm pretty sure it's biologically impossible for him to be your father.
I don't know.
It is your birthday.
he's
It's
a
not.
pretty-
It's not your 21st birthday.
Jeff's a pretty studly guy. You never know.
I am. Didn't you say 24? You're 24
I am
today, Garnet?
20. Yes, I am 24 years old today. It's a pretty fantastic day for me. I was born in 80? Shit, something. Yeah. Anyway, that was when I was born. It was fantastic. It's rockin' 80s. So anyway, guys, what have you been playing? I know what I've been playing, and I think I know you've been playing it.
Yeah,
a lot. Mercenaries 2.
I just got my copy. I haven't played it yet.
Oh man, you're gonna, dude. Mercenaries
Will I
2,
love it, or will I think like Eurogamer?
What is with the Eurogamer
Saying.
review? By the way, it's also so long that who has time to sit down and read that thing? Did you look at the review?
I just saw
Or
the score.
You are so inviting people
Oh
to
my
do
God.
I saw the score on Metacritic
You're
and thought,
killing me.
I'm canceling my pre-order.
What have I tried to teach you for years, son? The scores don't matter.
I took the game home because I'm excited about it. Because it looks like a game where, like, even if I don't like the single-player campaign, I'll have fun fucking around with my friends online, right? Right?
I don't know. Actually, I think I enjoy the single player maybe better. I don't know. The multiplayer.
Really?
The multiplayer is kind of weird because they have this circle that you cannot get out of. Like when you get to the edge of the circle, all of a sudden it's like thing's going dark.
Yeah.
Where you can't get it's like a radius that you and your friends have to stay inside
Right.
of.
Right.
Oh.
Yes.
And it's so weird going from like Grand Theft Auto 4 where, you have the one mode where you have 16 guys, you can go everywhere, and then to be constricted in this game, it's a little weird.
Yeah, I'm absolutely sure it's a technical limitation. They'll probably sell it. They'll spin it as, well, we wanted you to stay together, so
I
you
already
played
heard,
as a team.
I was talking to someone who was, I don't remember who it was, but they were trying to sell it. They were like, well, it makes it more focused, so you
Absolutely, yes.
stay right on the mission, so you're not just messing around.
See, Jeff, this is what you have to look forward to.
Really? I'm not listening.
So
The
what else?
focus on societies makes you more focused on how your SimCity develops, and it's much more about the social engineering part. And that zoning business, that was for the birds.
The thing about The Sims, though, is it's really an amazing franchise.
How amazing is it?
Yeah, that joke's gonna get real fast.
You know what? Not old yet. Let's keep milking it while it works. Let's milk the shit
How
out
many
of that.
times has it shifted the paradigm?
Oh, many times.
Oh my God, paradigm's been shifted all over the place. You know how the Ice Age started, like when the poles shifted from north to south? That's a Sims done that 5 times.
That paradigm's been shifted so much it's about to break off.
Oh,
All right, back to Mercs.
Dude, Mercs is awesome. Like, it's so fun. Like,
Why is it awesome? Why is it fun?
because you can jump into it, run around. Like, first of all, the vehicles are all fun to drive and fly. The helicopters.
Really? You
Yeah.
like using A as your accelerator?
I'm fine with
Can
it.
you remap it to R?
Why are you not?
You can't shoot when you're in the passenger seat. Something you've become really accustomed to.
You know what? I agree with you that is messed up. Like, not being able to fire your gun while you're riding along in the Jeep and just having you sit there going, all right, well, that's pretty cool.
Wait, you can't shoot while in the passenger seat?
Yeah, it
No,
sucks.
you can't get
dumb.
on like a turret on the back of a truck if it's got like a machine gun and fire. But I mean, one of the things I've only played for a couple of hours. Like,
But the
I've
gun
only played
truck
for, like,
is
3
awesome
hours.
because of that.
Yeah. But, I mean, outside of blowing stuff up, which for a lot of people, blowing stuff up is enough of a reason for them to buy and enjoy a game. But outside of that, like, there's not much here. It's almost impossible to die.
So besides for it being fun, there's not much there.
I'd say I don't know
Fun
how
is overrated.
Yeah, I mean, well,
Fun is, yeah.
I
fuck fun.
don't know how fun it is. I mean,
OneUp.com. Fun is
But
fun.
it's funny. Every demo I saw at EA would invariably.
Dude, we did that a long time ago.
The demo, all right, the
Sorry.
demo would eventually turn to them putting plastique on a Jeep and driving it into something every single time, and that seemed really fun. But that does seem like the ultimate version.
some of the missions are
fun.
very repetitive. I mean, you repeat the same mission types.
Wow, there's
much
no
like
open
GTA.
world games like that.
Much like GTA, yeah.
All right,
And
all right.
I criticize GTA for the same reason. It's also, you can tell it's built on like a heavily modified PS2 engine.
It's also available for the PS2.
It is. It's totally available for PS2, and I think that's part of the drawback of the game is that it's been under development for so long that they have that legacy where they were tied to making a PS2 version, and it just didn't make sense for them to develop, just a PS3.
It just seems to me like this game would have made more sense coming out like, I don't know, a year ago.
Well, it was
Absolutely,
supposed to.
It was supposed to.
Exactly. At this point in
It
the
was
development
supposed to.
cycle, like for a full price game, I don't know if this game really does it for me.
It's,
You're
hitting,
wrong.
it's hitting at a time,
You're wrong.
but it's hitting at a time where it could be a huge hit. I mean, like,
Thanks for that expert analysis there.
The expert analysis, you know what my expert analysis about Mercs 2 is? Don't overanalyze it. Just get it and go have fun with it, and don't fucking worry about
But I
it.
didn't find it to be that fun. It's really, really mindless.
It is mindless. It's a great mindless.
Perfect for Garnet Lee.
No argument, dude. No, I'm not going to argue
This
with
is
that.
your anti-braid.
My anti. This is. You know what? It is kind of my
it's
anti.
anti-intellectual, it's
This is my hey blow me game. Oh.
Glad I'm on this side of the
all
table.
right. So, what else have you been playing besides?
That's
Mercs?
it, dude. Like
That's it?
seriously, I go home every night and play it, and not only that, it's like it's been keeping me up till like 2:30 or 3 in the morning playing it. It's
Wow.
really fun. Like I enjoy the vehicles. Again, the vehicles are all easy to drive. The not dying thing to me is a boon. I like that
But
you
there's like
don't
weird
die a lot
glitches.
in it.
You'll be in a vehicle and your health will be down to like 2, but if you hop out of the vehicle, it instantly jumps back up to 100.
Because the health it's showing you is the health of the vehicle.
Right.
It says right off it says in the hints to the game.
You
if
can't take damage when you're in a,
No,
like
you
a
can't.
vehicle.
Yeah. It's an arcade game. It's not real.
Well, yeah, it's a video game by definition. It's not real.
But I mean, it's not even intending to be a simulation.
I don't
It's
think it was
intending
meant to be an arcade style game. It's like it's just like TMNT the brawler. No,
I think it was totally meant to be arcade style. Do you really don't think it was meant to be arcade style?
do you think Grand Theft Auto is an arcade style game? Are you daft?
But I guess I should preface
I think,
everything.
I think that like you're comparing different games because in the world of a military game like Mercenaries 2, there's been a lot of sims. Like there's been a lot of games that were very, very hardcore on, well, how did we do the controls for the helicopter so that it feels like you have a cyclic?
Okay, yeah, that's true. This is supposed to be like a pick up and play
Right.
experience, but
So to me, that makes it more arcade. I'm using arcade loosely. Obviously, I'm not dropping quarters in my, entertainment
and
center.
I do have to say, like, I missed the first Missionaries the first time around. I never really
Missionaries?
played- Mercenaries.
you should,
a
you should
whole
always go.
different
You should always go.
I'm pretty sure David Ellis was a big fan of Missionaries.
Your mom is.
Okay.
She probably is.
So is Sarah Palin.
So is Sarah Palin. Have you met Sarah Palin? Big fun. So I know McCain famously threw you in a swimming pool. So I wonder if maybe you've had some sort of interaction with Sarah Palin.
I've never met Sarah Palin.
But you were thrown into a swimming pool.
He
by
has, however, met
John
her
Martin.
daughters.
You met her. You met her daughters?
No.
You were thrown in a swimming pool by.
All right.
By,
and Andrew says,
yeah,
let's go back. Do we want to talk about Mercenaries? You guys, I really like Mercenaries, and
How
you're not
is
going
the
to talk me
setting?
out of it.
This is the it's
in
like,
Venezuela.
right?
Yeah.
Is there anything realistic
No.
about that setting whatsoever?
No, not at all.
Right.
Just a lot of brown people who yell at you and shoot guns.
But what I do
Do they
think is
yell at
cool.
you in Spanish or Venezuela?
I know.
No,
they don't. It's all in English.
They have excellent accents. They sound very.
Do they speak in English with like Hispanic accents?
Yes.
Oh, they do.
Generic accents.
Okay.
It's kind of pathetic.
You are dead.
Is it that kind of thing? I sort of hate that.
They sort of do that.
Yeah.
I like that as you run around the different environments, there's not a lot of repeated textures, or I guess there's repeated textures, but there's not a lot of repeated environments. So you'll see different, like there's a little fishing village, and that's unique, and you go someplace else, and there's like this weird.
Yeah, but the pop-in's really bad too.
pop-in
If you're
is really
driving, if you're driving really fast along the road, like you can run into a semi-truck because you don't see it until it pops in.
I would say this, like I'm super glad that I'm not reviewing the game,
Right.
Because as someone who is reviewing the game, I think that you'd have to take a hard look at some of these issues that as just someone playing the game and having fun with it. I'm just having fun with it, which is interesting because that brings up a good point about the disconnect between reviews and what do people actually do when they go home and just have fun with the game. I mean, because that's something I've been struggling with while playing this game.
Right. Well, I picked up the game because you've been having a lot of fun with it, and like several people on my friends list have been playing the hell out of it and told me they were having a lot of fun with it, and I don't see it myself.
So that makes me totally this is weird because it makes me question how I approach reviews. I mean, is it right to sit there and nitpick those particulars on that are performance or just technicalities versus if I go home and play it and stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning playing it?
I would say only if it affects your enjoyment. Like if it's affecting my enjoyment, like I run into vehicles when they pop in right in front of me and causes me to wreck my car and possibly blow up.
Yeah, I know.
That affects my enjoyment.
I always had a weird sort of phenomenon with what you're talking about, Garnet. And now that I'm about to leave the media, I'm wondering if how it's gonna affect my game playing. But I have found over the years that I always enjoy games more that I am not reviewing.
Oh yeah.
Because the pressure's off. And when you're reviewing, you always have that critical mantle on, which of course you're supposed to do because that's your job, right? But I'm much more capable of just removing, turning that part of my brain off and just doing what you're talking about doing with Mercenaries, right? This is just fun. It's just fun to shoot shit. But if I was approaching it from what's the story like? What is it realistic? What were their goals? Then I'm going to start looking at those flaws, But then there's sort of a disconnect there, right?
Right, exactly. Who's the review for?
Yeah.
I'm asking that.
Is it for other critics?
Who's the review for?
I mean, it's kind of the first Mercenaries was it was a critical hit. It got 8s, but then it became a smash at retail. It sold 1 million copies, and I think this is the same thing. It's getting everything from 6s to 8s, but I think it will find a huge audience in the mass market.
Yeah, but I mean, here's the question. Is the review for us to make ourselves feel good and intelligent because we can break down this video game as an art form and analyze all these, elements of it? Or is it for the person who's or is it, sort of been equated to a buying guide? Is it for people who are what's this game like? Tell me about it. Is it cool? Do I want it?
I think it's both, but I think in this game,
how can it be both?
I think this game in particular, it isn't necessarily. It doesn't have a whole lot to say, and
it doesn't.
It's just kind of a dumb fun game. I think dumb fun games, you either come in impressed or unimpressed, and depending on what your expectations were and what you want out of it. Grand Theft Auto 4 super fans are going to have different set of expectations for this game.
And I think you have to judge it on what it's trying to do too, right? If it's presenting itself as a dumb fun action game, and that's what their goals were, and they succeed on that level, then it's great, right? But if it was trying to pass itself off as some kind of intellectual exercise or whatever, or great storytelling,
have you seen? Oh no, you didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not trying to pass itself off as intelligent. I can assure you of that. One more person sends me an IM of, oh no, you didn't, and we'll be like, oh yeah, I did actually.
All right, so Mercs 2, controversial. Who knew?
Yeah.
Who knew?
Controversial.
Around this table a little bit. You and David Ellis, different opinions.
So you really don't like it?
I didn't say I don't like it. I'm just having fun. And
he was back on Halo last night.
How much have you played it?
About 3 hours.
All right, so
it's
I tell you
about
what,
evenly split between single player and co-op.
I will start a game over this weekend, and I'll invite you because the way it works co-op is whenever you start up the game, it basically turns your game into a server, and then you can invite people into it. And when they're in your game, they're playing, and it's the same campaign, which is one of the explanations they had for the circle thing. It's well, you want to make sure that you guys whoever's in your game is sort of the safety, so that they don't go do something that screws you up with some faction you wanted to be friends with.
Yeah, and if you complete missions, it doesn't carry over to the guest's single player game, but the money does, right?
Yeah, the money does. But whoever is the host, whoever had the server, it's their game, and the other person is visiting. So I will do that, and we'll get in and play. And if you just don't like it, hey, you don't like it. It's different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not downing on anybody that's having a lot of fun with it. Just myself, I'm not. So
right, that's cool.
So that's all you've been playing, G-Man?
Dude, that's seriously I actually have been anxious to go home and play it again. I had a great time with it. It's a lot of fun.
There you go.
How about you guys?
Okay, well, I've been playing. I'm back on the Soul Calibur 4 online train.
Nice.
One of my Starbucks baristas challenged me.
I need to make some more money this weekend.
Well, my Starbucks barista,
that's become my part-time job.
By the way, listeners, David and Shane live in the same flat, and David has been smoking.
I wouldn't say smoking.
How many of you won?
It goes back and forth.
Best of 10, have you ever won?
Once.
No. No, you haven't.
Well, we'll play again. And
Where's the account balance right now?
Right now it's only $20, but we haven't played in a couple weeks.
All right, well,
more upsettingly, on Labor Day, I was really drunk and I was online, and my Starbucks barista has been wanting to play me in Soul Calibur. So eventually I fought him, and it was close, but he came out ahead. So we're going to rematch this weekend.
Wait, so the average ordinary dude
At
working the
Starbucks.
barista
He's pretty good.
Starbucks just bitch
No,
slapped
he
the
lured
EGM
me.
editor.
He invited me into his special versus match, which I hadn't fought before.
those suck.
And he was using all these characters he made with all these special abilities and powers. I would
yeah, that's
start.
kinda weird.
I would start with half health. I'm like, I don't even know how this happens. Like, how do I have half health? So it's not surprising that he beat me. What else have I been playing? I finally got a Pixel Junk Eden. It's awesome. I hadn't installed it. I finally installed it last week. It's fantastic. In terms of new stuff, what have I been playing? Infinite Undiscovery. I'm about done with that now.
And you recommend that it remain undiscovered?
You got me in trouble about that at lunch today.
I believe I heard someone reply to it as infinite apathy.
It's kind of a shame because I really, really wanted to like it more than I do, because I like Tri-Ace games. I'm a big Valkyrie Profile fan. I like Star Ocean, and it has a lot going for it. I mean, if you look at it, it has good music, good graphics. The battle system on the surface, very good, but it's really cumbersome around the edges. And the more you play it, the more you want it to be an online game. If this was a 4-player co-op game, it would kick 2 humans' ass. It would be phenomenal. But it's not. So instead, you're in charge of all your party members, and it's so cumbersome to use their abilities. And it's decent, but if you're going to buy an RPG, Tales of Vesperia, which came out just a few days later, is superior. So
Tales is an interesting story because I think it seems to continue to have this gaining momentum sense to it, where people continue to talk about it. They're like, oh, that game is actually better than I thought it would be.
The whole franchise is kind of like that. I mean, it's definitely a second-class citizen compared to something like Final Fantasy, but it's very consistent, and the combat's very different. It's very action-oriented and fun and addictive. And
I remember that with Tales of Destiny, which is the only one I ever played, but Tales of Destiny kicked the crap out of me.
Well, they are hard too. You have to level, you have to grind a little bit, but if you've never played a Tales game, I think Vesperia is fun and accessible and pretty in its own way.
It is accessible.
I feel
because
so,
I wouldn't call Tales of Destiny. I mean, that's the old PS1.
I mean, you can kind of mash your way through the battles at first. It will get hard, but I think if you've played action games, you'll be able to deal with the battles.
All right, cool.
Are there any of those in the game giveaway pile still?
No, it's actually hard to find them.
Damn it.
You didn't get very many Vesperias.
I was going to take Infinite Undiscovery, but you're telling me
I'd wait for Vesperia.
Right.
Also this week, what did I see? I saw a game for Wii called Puzzle Kingdoms, which is made by the guy who made Puzzle Quest.
That sounds promising.
And it's for Wii. It's coming out next year, and it's kind of a different take on it. And like the colored matching block gameplay is different, and it's easier, and it makes more sense. Like when we were playing.
Easier
for me. Like, remember when we were playing the space theme? What's the new space theme called? Galactrix. I was baffled. I couldn't understand what the fuck was happening in that game. Couldn't understand.
Five-sided
No, for real.
geometry.
Like the guy, I called a PR guy. I'm like, why can't I do this? Why did I die? And he's like, I don't know. It's like there's way too many. There's like
That's
way,
a great PR.
Dude, there's like
right
way
there.
too many rules and power ups.
Who the fuck knows?
It's just like
sucks.
they gilded the lily so hardcore. Like, but this one they actually simplified it.
They gilded the lily so hardcore.
So this new one, it's simple. It's simpler. It's easier to understand. I really was digging it. It has multiplayer, online multiplayer.
That's good. I like that.
I know I can talk about that, but it comes out next year. It looks really good. And yesterday I finally got to see Pete's Wanted game.
He's so mad at that. This Pete went on.
Pete went on. The guy who made Scarface and he made the
Escape from Butcher Bay.
Butcher Bay. So this is the sequel to the film Wanted, starring Angelina Jolie and James McAvoy. And I'd seen some screenshots of it, but seeing it in action, I was pretty impressed. I got to say, it's based on the same engine. It's being made by the Bionic Commando remake engine. Grin, those Swedish guys, they opened up a Barcelona office, and that's who's making this game.
So were you able, he and I went out and got coffee and we're talking about the game. Did you get to see in action the part where he was talking about using cover offensively?
Yeah, and cover's movable. Like the one level they showed, you're on an airplane, and so you can get behind the little drink.
You got to see that.
Yeah, you can get on the drink trays and you push them forward while moving, and the cover just seems very. They've really thought about it. You can move around objects of cover. Like in a lot of games, you're stuck to something, and when you try to move around it, you get you come off of it. And this one, you actually you stick to it. You're sticky the whole time, and you can move the cover. You can blind fire.
I wonder if there'll be situations where you want to come off of it and you just get stuck going around the corner. That's really tricky.
Well, and another element, you can roll from cover point to cover point, and as you do that, you get faster each time. So it's
that was the thing he was talking about.
It's almost like a rhythm action game. So there's a tempo to it. So if you after it's all done, you can whip out. It adds this meter you have that's bullet time. So
because it actually is like bullet time.
So you do 6 of those, and you blast out your bullet time, and you slow down. You can shoot everybody in one big thing, and you can arc the bullets around, and it's not something you haven't ever seen before, but it's taking elements from other games, mixing them together.
So it's primarily like third-person shooter.
It is.
The cover thing I hadn't ever heard anyone doing before because it's a cool twist on bullet time. In bullet time, usually everything just slows down around you, but in this case, what happens is it's the enemy AI perceives you at cover point A, but if you ping pong from A, B, C, D, E, F, it doesn't catch up because as you're going from cover point to cover point, you're getting progressively faster and faster and faster, and so you're like developing that blur, like that assassin's blur, to the point where they're still looking at you 3 or 4 bounces of cover behind, and you're already up on them, and then can do like a quick close combat assassination.
And I think we're quick.
That's cool.
We're quick to dismiss movie license games, but like if you look at his track record, The Thing, Riddick, Scarface, he's a guy who, much like Geronimo did with the Warriors, they really understand the license. They want to do it justice. They worked with the film director. They worked with the Millar, the guy who wrote the original comic. So it's not just a cheap cash in.
Riddick was unbelievable.
Right.
Yeah, Riddick was so superior to the movie.
I think Wanted should be on your radar. Like, don't just discount it because it's Italian. So that's what I've been looking at.
Dude, that's a lot of stuff.
There you go.
Make me feel like inadequate, just my little mercenaries.
Sorry.
Oh, no, you didn't.
It's your birthday, dude. You got free pass.
All right, thanks. Appreciate that. Dave, we'll let Jeff bring it home. I mean, Jeff gets to bring it home. He's the anchor man.
I heard Jeff's playing The Sims
on this relay team.
Such a good game.
So he's also doing some SimCity,
Sim Pets H&M IKEA version. Fantastic.
Yeah, way underrated.
Yeah, I've been playing Two Human again, but I'm not going to talk about that. That's been talked about.
You know who else loves Two Human?
A lot of people like Two Human.
Everybody we know.
Yeah.
Everybody at PAX.
I wouldn't say everybody.
Everybody did.
All the Illuminati, Ryan Payton, Luke Smith, Brian Nattar, love it.
Wow, you just made an interesting Illuminati. I'm having like images of those guys in
they're pulling the strings.
Plate armor that's perfectly shined.
They're pulling the strings behind your favorite games.
So yeah, I mean, I'm still playing Two Human. I'm having fun, mostly co-op, and obviously the problems are there. I won't defend the game at all. I just have fun playing it. I can't really explain it. It's like the ugly girlfriend,
mercenaries.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to disagree. I'm not going to disagree with you. I mean, Two Human's much like the ugly girl you dated in high school, but you didn't want to show your friends. You don't really know why you're dating her, but
man, you were screwing the shit out of her over the weekend.
She just does something for you. So, but I got a chance to play Gears of War 2 at PAX last week.
Okay.
And I've played that several times. This is the first time I've been able to play it with like general public. And that was a lot of fun,
What mode did you play?
I was playing, what do they call Meat Flag now? They changed the name of Meat Flag to something more PC. I can't remember what it's called now. But Meat Flag, where you have Flag, which is an AI character in the middle of the map. You have to grab him, knock him down, then grab him.
Meat Flag, M-E.
Yeah, meat. No, meat. Meat
Okay,
Flag.
okay.
A flag of meat.
I think it's called Domination now. But
Meat Flag's better.
Yeah, but they changed it for some reason. I guess I don't know. But playing that, but it was interesting watching people who obviously it was about 50-50 split, where half the people you could tell had played the first Gears a lot and were trying a lot of the same tricks like shotgun rolling, stuff like that, and then watching people who'd never really played it before and just wanted to roll up with a chainsaw. And it was fun watching people trying the traditional shotgun roll, which doesn't work anymore because if you have a Lancer or the assault rifle out and you're shooting people with it, it slows them down as they're charging towards you. So they end up getting stuck out in the open. So it really encourages you to use definitely use the cover. So it was a lot of fun playing with just regular people, and they seem to be having a lot of fun. And I think obviously we won't really know how much they've been able to tweak it until you play it real world online conditions, because LAN stuff always performs better than online.
Ideal condition for network.
But I think, and I also met the new community manager. His name is Justin. I can't remember his name. He's going to be doing a lot of online stuff, which is definitely something Gears lagged behind, especially compared to Resistance is being very aggressive, and then of course Bungie has kind of set the standard with community. So I think finally Microsoft and Epic are going to try to catch up a little bit.
Did you ask them why they're not porting this one to PC?
I don't think that story was out at that point yet. Right? I don't think we were clued into it. I mean, it's in my news stack right here. We weren't clued into it.
I think they would tell you that they want people to purchase it for the Xbox 360 console.
Yeah, I'm still.
Then they'll port it later.
Exactly, because if I recall, when the first Gears came out, they were like, "We have no plans for a PC."
Right. But then it was a Games for Windows showcase PC game. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, they're probably going to make Gears of War 2 PC.
You know what? It could be very easy to get around there. I'm sure there's like some sort of loophole where it's like, well, Cliff said Epic wasn't going to do it, but he didn't say that some other studio wasn't going to take it and port it over.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So who knows? I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to being able to play more of it because I like the first Gears and they seem like they're definitely tweaking a lot of stuff from the first one. So.
Yeah, I mean, I told you after E3, my opinion had swung around on Gears.
Yeah, because you were skeptical.
I was
you were not
skeptical.
a big fan of the first Gears, to be honest.
Wow, you know, I don't want to it always seems to get overstated whenever I say an opinion. It's like either I loved it or I hated it. I had fun with it, but I did find that it
didn't have lasting like appeal for you.
No, because the level design was so cattle corral. Like it was so much like just shoving you down the cattle corral that
you felt it was short too, didn't you?
I don't really care about length, actually. Length doesn't bother me as long as the game like feels like completed.
Yeah.
Okay, so I saw the smirks are coming out.
It was just the obvious joke.
Yeah.
None of us said it out loud.
It's all about the girth, not the length. You got to have multiple entry points.
Wow,
into the level where you go around, like
Jesus
different ways to get to the ending.
Wow.
Andrew's like, timestamp? I don't know. I think this out. Yeah, actually, I did kind of enjoy the first Gears, but the online play, like we all agreed, was a glimpse of something that could be a lot better and got us into it, but you're always like, man, I wish there was like a little bit more execution on it.
Right, and I'm still disappointed that it's not 4-player co-op through the single player. I mean, the Horde mode is a lot of fun.
Horde mode is a blast.
I don't know how much lasting, how much lasting appeal there is for that, but being able to play through with your squad of 4 guys who are almost always with you together through the entire campaign.
I'd say there's a lot. I mean, I really like. I've said it before, but I equate it to the terrorist attack in Rainbow Six games, where you get your buddies together and you keep trying to get a little bit further because it has that same sort of thing. It has that enticement.
Well,
last time we got to wave 5. Let's see if we can get to wave 6.
Right, and it wraps it in like almost a Geometry Wars like wave.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
It gives you a chance to like catch your breath, like. Get ammo, try to find better weapons.
Go back out, get
power
your
weapons respawn in between waves.
Yeah.
So I mean, the Horde mode is a lot of fun, especially when I got to play it earlier. So
totally agree.
Can't wait till we can play some more of that.
All right. What else? Anything? Anything portable? Or?
Yeah, I've been playing Madden, but
that's right. You're in a league.
Yeah.
I need to be playing Madden. Okay.
He was playing against a random Sports Anomaly listener the other night.
And I got fucking torched. It was
man enough to man up on it.
It was one of those like typical Madden games where I had like 5 times as much yards of offense, killed him in time of possession. I had like 10 minutes to 5 minutes, but threw 6 interceptions and had 2 fumbles. And one of the fumbles, it was like my running back was running and then just tossed the lateral to the defender. So
hi, would you like this?
Seriously,
please take the ball
like
from
10
me.
years old. The kid who beat you.
No, I think
he's like, fuck you.
Nah, I think he was probably like 15 or 16. He's a Canadian listener, so he was representing the CFL 110-yard field. But he was nice and like our listeners are cool, so And
we met a lot of our listeners at PAX.
Yeah, I mean, I know I was talking to Brian. He said people keep calling him Fragile Eagle.
Eagle.
You can't escape that name. So, but definitely, I had a blast at PAX, like running into everybody.
You're a Panthers fan, right?
I am a Panthers fan.
So you play the Panthers in the game?
I do.
Awesome.
Steve Smith's fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, I mean, he had his great season. It was pretty stupid how much you could just like chuck the ball to him and be like, "Oh, look, he comes down with it. Amazing!"
Every time, but that's pretty much all I've been playing. So
we should get some online games of Madden going.
We still have a ton of spots in the Sports Anomaly League. So anyone else who doesn't necessarily listen to Sports Anomaly, but you listen to yours and want to play Madden, like join up.
All right, I'll jump into that definitely. Some more people can jump into that. Anything else? We done? Are we giving it to Green to bring home?
Handing it over.
The Green Party 2008.
I've been playing a lot of games from EA.
They are the number one publisher.
They're just phenomenal at what they do.
Well, last night some of us went to a fantastic launch.
They really know how to put on a party.
A gala launch event for Spore.
Holy shit!
It was pretty special.
They treat
journalists
I do have to say that when we went to that party, I was like, okay, I'm going to a company that has money.
Well, okay, so
that felt good.
These motherfuckers ain't going chapter 11.
Says the crew recording a podcast in a closet.
Yeah, we're in a closet. We go to a lot of events.
Hey, you used to work in this closet.
Well, the thing is, if you live in
office.
San Francisco or the Bay Area, you know that like this building where we're going, I mean, it's not open to the public yet, and it's been a big deal.
So it's the
they've been talking about it in the press for like
the California
a year.
Academy of Sciences. It's our new natural history museum. They've been building it for years, and it opens in like 3 weeks. but EA got to throw an event in it before it opens.
Right.
We were very limited where we could go. We couldn't go like play on the dinosaur bones, but we went to the planetarium.
The planetarium.
The planetarium.
Holy shit, that planetarium.
Which is phenomenal because instead of it projecting on a screen, it's a giant monitor like bigger than your house. And
they play some Michael Jackson tunes so you can see the waveforms.
I was hoping for some Dark Side of the Moon, but instead they took us on like an amazing real-time journey through the universe that afterwards we all felt cosmically insignificant.
Was Carl Sagan
it's so
narrating
true.
it for you?
I felt cosmically insignificant afterwards.
It's so true. I was really thinking during that, like, who cares that I'm leaving here?
Right.
Like, we are tiny.
As I look at the light from a dying star, who cares about Black Dragon? I mean, really.
Exactly.
They stand here on the edge of the universe, surrounded by billions and billions of stars.
They even rolled out Mr. Drake, the guy
the SETI guy.
Oh yeah.
He's like a famous astronomer. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm very jealous that you guys got to see that part because I was writing.
You were busy drinking.
I was feeling
not busy
very
drinking at all.
I
was
was
writing
corporate masters during that.
Have you been playing Will's game, Spore?
I have been playing Spore, and it is the big PC game release this week, obviously. So it's not just because I'm about to take a job there.
That doesn't hurt.
And I do have criticisms of it. And actually, the truth is, I was going to do the review for OneUp.com, and I took myself off it at the point where I started interviewing at EA. It was a minor conflict of interest, you think?
That's not a bad idea.
This game is amazing!
Yeah.
Good move.
And, I think that the reviews that I've seen online, including ours from Scooter, who did it, he gave it a B+, and I think that's about right. I mean, I think that what they did right is so unbelievable. I mean, well, right, every time you hear the guy talk, he's obviously
brilliant
in some fucking other world of intelligence than we are. He is kind of a higher life form. Hi, Norris.
Norris just gave you a look like you're in trouble.
We're up on 8, so people walk by and they're like, what the hell's going on in
your desk?
Yeah, that was scary.
Yeah.
So I think that, the truly unique thing about Spore, which is this pollinated content, the fact that you're playing a single-player game and your game, no matter what stage you're at, from creature all the way up to space, is being populated by the creatures and vehicles, spacecrafts, cars of other players.
Totally agree.
And they have 3 million different monsters already made.
And the game hasn't even officially launched in the U.S. yet.
The subscription mechanism, I think, is the heart of that, right?
Right. Well, actually, I mean, if you don't, all you have to do is log on to the Spore server, which it actually does automatically when you first install the game. It's just going to constantly be populating your game, pollinating your game.
So you don't have to do the Sporecasts.
You don't have to do the Sporecast. If you don't do Sporecasts, it will randomly throw shit at you from people from all over the world.
Provided you're connected.
Which you are by default. If you do a Sporecast, is basically you going manually to the Sporepedia and looking through basically a catalog of people's shit and saying, oh my god, Garnet Lee makes amazing spacecrafts. I'm going to subscribe to Garnet Lee. And then that means that every time you create something new, your creation gets automatically downloaded into my game. If you don't subscribe to a Sporecast, then you're just going to get random stuff. And you could do the opposite too. I could ban my stuff if I think you're shit. I can just say,
but it has hooks
what a tard Garnet Lee is.
It has hooks into what you've done to connect, so that when it connects out to the bigger Sporepedia, it's looking at it's culling that list based off what it sees you doing in your game to pull in relevant material, right?
That's true. It will also look at the stuff you like and will make educated guesses on what you might want.
It's sort of like Last FM.
It is kind of like Last FM. Oh, Jeff Green likes all orange spiky things. I'm going to give him more orange spiky things. The other thing it could do is it does the opposite. So it tracks everything that the creatures you made, how they're progressing in other people's games. So Scooter, who reviewed it, some of my creatures kept showing up in his game. And when I went to my Spore page, it would tell me how my race was doing in his game.
That was cool.
How cool
I saw
is
that? That is really cool.
So that stuff's amazing, and I think for that, in my head, that elevated it already to B+ area in my head as I was playing it.
How well does the timeline thing keep you connected to what's going on in each segment of the game as you're playing through it?
Well, How do you mean exactly? I mean,
I had a hard. So for a long time, I've been critical of sport, and I'm not changing. Yep. I think that the things that we're talking about right now are the part that makes it really awesome. The ability for everybody to jump in and create all this content, to not just be able to share it like YouTube, where if I send you a link, you can go get it, but the fact that it pushes that content out to people. So if you're making cool stuff, your stuff will show up in people's games.
Right.
All that part I'm really digging into. Mm-hmm. The individual game segments are where I think it kind of starts to get on a little shakier ground.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I actually said, okay, I'm not as down on it as I was, is that it has this timeline thing. And the timeline shows you as you're progressing through each of the 5 game mechanics, there's sort of 2 polar opposites. So for instance, at the stage where you're building your character, there's the herbivore side and there's the carnivore side, and it'll show you like a little track, much like when you played Civ. You had like your little graphs that would show you how your civilization progressed. Same thing as you're going down the timeline. That helped my head get around what's going on. Was that?
Yeah.
Does it feel like it worked better?
They added the timeline late in the development, and it's a really neat thing. I mean, because you can go back and you can see everything you've done from the time you were a one-celled creature all the way back. I mean, this thing documents how many times you were killed, how many, when you added a new nose to your guy, all the way up to when you took over this planet or whatever. So that's neat. But I will say that, some of the individual phases of the game don't hold up to very deep scrutiny, and that's I think where it's getting kind of rightly dinged.
Tell me the final one, the space thing, is the weakest. Is that true?
Well, I don't think so.
I don't agree with that. I think the one before that. I think the
Civ game for me is the weak one.
Which one is like the RTS, like the third one?
That's kind of the Civ game.
Civ one.
That's the Civ game. And
you could see the trouble that they got in. I mean, and it was clear during the development that they were having trouble with that, and really the tribal one before that as well. I mean, they were kind of stuck. I mean, they were trying to make 5 individual games. I'm burping. 5 individual games that had to both try to be sort of intelligent and challenging enough for real gamers, and yet not intimidate the casual players that they're also going
it's
for.
Almost an impossible thing.
It's an impossible thing to do. And so the Civ and the tribal games sort of are vaguely like the kind of strategy games we're used to, but they're so easy that for us it's almost tedious, because it's like you're just making me go through these paces of something I know I'm going to beat in 15 minutes. So why do I even have to do it?
And I got a sense that by the time they got to the space game, they're like, well, you know what? People who are willing to play this game through the space segment, they're core gamers anyway, so let's just turn it loose, because the space game, I think, is actually basically as big as the other 4 segments before that.
In fact, not only is it as big, it's like exponentially bigger. And so
also extra depth. Yeah, go ahead.
Right. So, because I've been playing it for many, many, many hours now, like probably a lot more than a lot of people, just because I got it early because I was reviewing it for EGM originally.
And it was also part of your interview package.
Right. The space game is so huge that after a while, when you're playing a space game, after you're into it for so many hours, you're like, oh my God, I forgot I even did all that other stuff. Everything else was basically just sort of like a prologue to the real game that Will Wright was trying to make, which was exploring space.
Sim Universe.
Right, Sim Universe. Yeah. And when listening to him talk last night, it's clear that's where his passion was. And so really, after a while, you're kind of like almost playing like a space MMO that's a single-player game.
And it really works.
But, it's weird to criticize the game because it's so crazily ambitious. Like,
exactly.
Nothing else is like this.
That's the thing about it, is that there's definitely seams in this. You could see where there's cracks. You could see where there's flaws. Like, it doesn't all hold together. I asked Lucy Bradshaw, who's the executive producer, when I interviewed her, because this is how I was feeling during the time when I was thought I was going to review it, was like, at each of these phases, I felt like, man, they could have made 5 separate games almost, and probably almost done better, rather than try to cobble these things together. And that's the thing here, is that the sum scope of this whole project is so ginormous, and what it does right, it does so well that you can't but just sort of go, hats off to you for being this ambitious and mostly pulling it off. And I do think that the creation tools, if you're just like a creative type, or the type who likes to screw around with toys, it's probably enough for you.
Right.
Absolutely. I think it's absolutely enough. I think the creature creator alone demonstrated that really completely.
Like, from the console side, I mean, this hasn't been announced for any real console yet, but I'm curious to watch if it succeeds and if people get into it and get into making things. Because when he was showing that graph yesterday, like what they want is to increase the quality of the tool set that allows people to increase the quality of what the things they make. And Little Big Planet is much the same way. So I see it as almost a template for like if this can succeed, perhaps Little Big Planet can
Right. As a toy, it's outstanding and unbelievable. But if you're going into it thinking like I'm going to get this great PC strategy game and I want to be like a real challenge on a strategic level, it isn't that.
So I feel like we're kind of full circle here, as well as where we started the conversation about being critical as a reviewer about the game and what kind of experience do you get, because there's certainly a inclination here, if you're going to be a critical reviewer of this game, to say, wow, what an amazing accomplishment. Look at everything that went in this game. Look at
Jar Jar just
totally spit on you.
Spit up right in your lap.
No, my Jar Jar sippy cup failed.
He obviously sides with, who was it, Jason that was on you about that shirt? Anthony was on you about that shirt.
Can I mention a couple other quick games?
Oh yeah, we can do whatever you want.
That aren't EA games. Just to show
negative. I'm sorry. Actually, I have the contract. Contract right here.
Sims,
you signed.
Let us know.
Mr. Green, is this your signature here on this line?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, rocks. The new Peggle. Peggle Knights.
Love it. Peggle. Sexy Peggle Knights
Peggle
after
Knights.
dark.
Yeah.
And did you see it? It's coming to mobiles.
Is it?
Yeah.
And guess what?
iPhone?
Big shocking revelation for this week's One Up Yours Peggle Knights, just like Peggle.
Except sexier.
You click one button, the ball goes, and then pegs die.
Peggle after dark.
Yeah.
And you smile, and you have a good time.
You do have a good time. I was sort of hoping maybe for a little bit more. The harder levels are actually really hard, but I did beat it already. And there's no new critters either. You get the same little alien dude who blasts all the things in the nearby radius, and the flower chick who lights up 20%
It's
of the
sort of like a Sims expansion pack.
Oh. But much worse. So there's that, and then I played a lot of Civ Rev. Still completely addicted to that on Xbox. Except even as I'm upping the difficulty level, I'm finding, maybe it's just because I'm a Civ Rev or a Civilization
super
fan, a veteran. Maybe I'm just that brilliant, but I can beat this damn thing like every fucking time now.
Wow.
Yeah. Just because there's certain things you could do that really just the AI is not equipped to deal with. I can get a technological victory every time.
Really? Because to me, the AI, I haven't played enough of the console. I played through twice.
Yeah.
But to me, the thing of it is that it's, as Andrew pointed out to me, he's like, you just have to be ready, because it's much more militaristic than the PC version. It's like, you have to be ready right off the bat to go to war.
Right, that's the thing. But the thing is, if you don't expand too much, if you just have one or two or three cities and turtle, just completely keep fortifying your one or two bases, build a wall around the cities, and keep going, they can't beat you.
Oh, it doesn't come at you ever. It doesn't ever come at you strong enough.
But they can't come at you strong enough.
You just laugh at them from behind your wall.
And it's not good for getting the other achievements that don't involve technology.
You silly kniggets.
Yeah. But it's still a great game. It's still an amazing achievement. And I'm only at this point after playing it for, I don't know how many hours. So right now I'm feeling like I'm sort of exploiting it. But it made me very happy for 50, 60, 70 hours. So.
And it's definitely made Take-Two very happy for Q3, as they were eager to point out during their latest money call.
Yeah, and I do have to say, this is a franchise that no one thought could successfully be translated to the console, and they totally kicked ass with it. I thought they did a great job in the translation to the console.
Definitely a home run. All right.
That's it for me.
So there you go, folks. So before we take a little break, we were at PAX last week, and I think I should throw a thank you out to everybody who came, both to the live show, which was
not everybody came to the live show. There's some assholes at that live show.
What?
I heard you got dissed pretty hard.
Why are you dissing people?
They dissed me first. Fuck you, kids. You know who you are.
Kid's little secret. Shane loved it. He was like, "Oh, did you hear that? They were dissing me. Oh, it's great."
Yeah, when he got back, he was writing in his diary in his room.
Dear diary, thank you to the asshole who works at the construction site. who loves World of Warcraft.
Anyway, folks, like every one of you who came out and those of you who wanted to be there didn't get a chance to be there, thank you so much for listening to us.
The meetup was a big success.
We absolutely appreciate it. It was fantastic to have you there. I've talked to Simon about the T-shirts. I talked to Simon and Sam about them some. We'll see what we can do. The idea was to give them away. We wanted to do a giveaway. I don't know whether we'll make them for sale.
There were some amazing headshots being signed at the meetup.
Garnet signed so many autographs.
See Tina's blog post from this week. Some
Super
excellent photographs.
Super flattering. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. And then the meetup at GameWorks was fantastic.
Yep.
Thank you everybody who came out to that.
It was awesome.
That's all I can just say. Thank you. Can't say thank you enough. Like we have great listeners. Love to do more live stuff. We will try to get out there and see you guys more, and whatever events we can do. Maybe it'll be like a Sims event.
That would be so good.
The Sims event
good.
Sims event thinks actually I'm kind of tired of it already. Let's just drop it.
You think?
Yeah.
I think we should talk about it more.
Man.
It's such a good franchise.
Yeah, all right.
I do want to clear up one thing if I can.
Yes.
Just because people are asking me.
Sure.
I'm going to the label, but that
Right.
doesn't necessarily mean I'm working on the game The Sims. Okay? So it could be Sim whatever.
SimAnt 2.
I like
to
the way you explained it to me the other day of you having to go back to school and like tour all the different products and learn the studio. That's actually sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Making a Sim Tower.
Oh my
Sim
God,
Tower?
I love Sim Tower. I now love Skip twice as much as I already did.
I think that's Mr. Ute Saito's game.
You're exactly right.
Creator of Seaman.
It is his game.
You are correct.
Very underrated in the Sim universe. Yeah.
There's a lot of the obscure Sim games like that.
Sim Mars.
Sim Ant, which was
Sim Ant was good.
Sim Ant was really.
Sim Life.
I never played that.
It's real.
Yeah.
Wasn't there Sim Farm also?
There was.
I did not play Sim Farm. All right,
A
stick
few
around.
duds in there. Did you guys ever have Sim Copter?
Yeah. I played
Yeah,
some
we'll just we've forgotten about it already.
All right.
Actually, someone in the thread asked if you going to EA meant there would be a Jane's Longbow 3. Can you
No.
confirm? No Jane's Longbow 3.
No,
Can you
there were
confirm?
not. No.
It's very
Sorry.
sad.
Falcon 5.0.
No.
You're kidding me? He's not going to live
games
long
with
enough to do that.
planes.
All right, folks, stick around. When we come back in just a minute, we'll have the news and some more comments from Jeff Green. We'll be right back with that. All right, we're back and ready to do the news. Thanks for keeping with us. Starting off, Take-Two had their third quarter earnings call this last week. Several sources reported on it. There's several stories that were broken out of it, so we'll just kind of hit a couple of them very quickly. The first one was that most of it was centered on, surprise, surprise, the success around Grand Theft Auto. One of the things that got people excited was that in speaking about that, Ben Federer, who is the Take-Two CEO, stated wouldn't directly say no to a Grand Theft Auto on Wii, but I think this has been maybe blown a little bit out of proportion. I think that maybe what he's hinting at is that, hey, it's a good franchise. We've been working with Nintendo on a lot of things. We could do some sort of Grand Theft Auto on Wii. I don't think he was saying that like you're going to see some sort of.
Well, and Reggie has spoken publicly that he would love to have Grand Theft Auto on the Wii. So,
And they also announced that Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars will be out first quarter.
Right.
Still no screenshots.
Still no screenshots. It's going to be the next Nintendo Power, but I think that that game proves to me that they're working with Nintendo.
Oh, absolutely. Like, so the quote was, he said, I will say that Nintendo and Take-Two work very well together. We intend to continue to grow that relationship. Well, big surprise. I mean, you got a huge installed base. Take-Two's making money.
Grand Theft Auto on the Wii sounds weird to me, though.
It does.
I don't know.
It wouldn't be a port of 4. I bet it'd be something original.
I think
Grand
it'd be
Theft Auto
something original, too.
Babies.
Yes.
That's-
Grand Theft Babies.
With
Grand
knees.
Theft Baby Carriage starring Jeff Green.
Grand Theft Auto Me.
Little kids on trikes stealing other trikes.
Taking lunch money.
It's the precursor to Bully. Anyway, what else? They also noted that Grand Theft Auto 4 is now over the 10 million mark in sales.
Which is really big.
It is
Wow.
big. So the trajectory of this thing now, sales-wise, is going to make it, not surprisingly, the biggest Grand Theft Auto franchise of all time.
San Andreas sold 12 million, and this is already at 10. And it's not out for PC yet.
I guess maybe not surprisingly is an understatement. Maybe it is a bit of a surprise because San Andreas was at the height of PS2 installed base. You had hundreds of millions of people with the machine in their homes, and PS3 doesn't have a huge installed base. 360 has an okay installed base. It's not I mean, let's be honest, it's not nearly as big as where PS2 was at the height of its reign.
It's definitely proven the strength of the franchise.
So you've got that, and Grand Theft Auto 4 confirmed to be coming out in Japan October the 30th. PC version coming out in November, and Take-Two confirmed that they're also going to be doing a whole other round of marketing and support for Grand Theft Auto in the holiday season because they anticipate another bump in sales to go along with all the hardware sales this fall. So yeah, it's going to be huge.
Well, and plus, there also continue to be rumors that the DLC for 360 may hit in November. It's unconfirmed as of yet.
Is unconfirmed, but does continue to seem that way. To me, a big part of the rest of this call was jockeying for position in the ongoing negotiations with EA. I mean, there's been rumors swirling around.
Well, the latest rumor that EA is walking away from the table.
Right, that they walked away from the table.
Yeah.
Would you know anything about that, Jeff?
Yeah, actually, I'm bringing him back to the table.
Nice.
Oh,
that's
good.
a good idea.
Yeah, I've known kind of for my diplomatic skills.
I thought they had to walk away because the money they had allocated had to go to you.
To me, yeah.
Right.
Well, I donated some of it because I don't really need more money. I mean, let's face it.
Well, they
So
brought-
I sat down with Riccatello. I said, let's go back.
You got to feed your kid.
Yeah, I threw in some of my own money.
They brought you in to do Sims Liberty City.
Now there's a good idea.
Sim hookers.
That is a damn good idea, actually.
Sim hookers.
You guys owe me for that one. So one of the key pieces of this, and they got past it fairly quickly, but Federer did mention that the company has completely paid off all of its debts, including their line of credit. They are 100% debt-free at this point in time, which puts them in a really good negotiating point.
Take-Two better than the United States right now.
Yeah, they've
And Ziff Davis.
all right, but they've gone 5 quarters.
I can say that because I'm not working anymore. I guess I do for another week. Just kidding.
Hey-o.
Nobody heard you. It's all right.
They don't listen.
Wait, is that Simon standing outside? Wait,
Crying? No.
Anyway,
Yeah,
so
but fire me.
yeah, the last bit of that is wow. Take-Two's gone 5 consecutive quarters above their guidance. Now they've been very conservative with their guidance, but so they're trending very well. I think that this sort of gives some credence to the idea that EA may have walked away because I think that Take-Two is probably saying, "Hey, look, we're doing great. We're making money. We're taking care of our shareholders. Why do we want to give in to your takeover plans? What's in it for us?" Dennis Fong is back out on the. You guys know.
My former boss, Dennis Fong.
You were
right?
You were
I didn't know
gamers.
that.
I was a gamers. I got fonged. That was the verb. They used that. He used that verb. I got fonged.
Did you do the Fong dance?
No.
I interviewed with him for that years and years ago.
What was that like?
Yeah, he pissed me off.
Well, that was short.
He did. Yeah, he did.
All right, so
Some of you may know him as Thresh.
Yes.
Fatality's rival.
You know what I didn't like about him? We had a good conversation about whatever, working there, about the job, and then he did this thing where we were like going to talk about money, and he's like scribbled a number on a little piece of paper, and he slid it across the desk like we were in
he
like
selling you a
fucking
used
Wall
car?
Street or something, like it was Michael Douglas of Wall Street. He's like, just tell me the number. What is this pretentious
You get
bullshit?
this
There's
amount
no
and a
camera on us.
1976 Ford Pinto.
No one's listening. Just tell me the number. Fuck. Right, I was just turned off right then. You know, Garnet slipping me a note. Said, I love you.
Oh,
I love you too.
I love you too, baby.
Okay.
So anyway, he has his new thing. He's been involved in a number of startups over the last few years.
Yes.
Some of them
Very
better
smart
than
dude.
others.
Yep.
His latest one is called Raptor, which is a link into the really blowing up over the last 18 months social networking on the internet. So this thing basically ties together Facebook, friend feed, and Twitter into all of your different game accounts across whatever games you might be playing. So for instance, World of Warcraft, your gamer tag on Xbox, and the linkage creates a singular spot where you can see, oh, Jeff just logged into Civ Revolution on his Xbox 360 and he's playing. And Shane just started playing. What'd you start playing? Soul Calibur 4 on your PlayStation.
Hello Kitty.
And
Adventure Island.
Hello
So
Kitty.
wait, what
Cube
does this
Paradise.
mean? I mean, like, let's say you Twitter something. Is that like Twitter thing going to show up in my like WoW chat window?
no,
What
it's the other
hell
way.
does
It's
this
it's the
mean?
reverse of that. So when
Okay.
you go and play games, it will show up in your Twitter feed. It'll show up in your friend feed. It'll show up on your Facebook.
Ah.
The idea being that your friends are off doing other things, and they're so waiting on pins and needles to play games with Jeff Green that as soon as they see their Twitter, fuck, I gotta get home and play Civ Rev right now with Jeff.
Can't
Jeff
we
Green
have
is
any-
on Peggle.
Can't we have any fucking privacy?
No, your privacy
Does
is an
everybody
illusion.
need to know what we're doing all the time now?
Yeah.
I don't know if you subscribe to Garnet's Twitter, but obviously,
Taking a dump now.
on the escalator, I saw a pretty bird.
It's a funny color. Should I see a doctor?
You know I don't put that shit on there. Why do you guys always talk about that? I actually enjoy my Twitter feed, whatever. But regardless of whether you're into the social networking scene or not, I think that the fundamental problem here is that the people you want to play with, you're probably already talking to them anyway, right? I mean, do you really need to broadcast to the world, hey, I'm going to go play Command & Conquer right now. Do you want to come play Command & Conquer with me?
Okay, well, if we remove the snarkiness factor, what actually would be good about this? I mean, is that it? If I just needed to know where you guys were playing games right now?
Honestly, if I want to see who's on Xbox Live, just go to Xbox.com. They already do that.
Right.
But so how
So they're tying into that system.
I mean, yeah, it definitely
If
sounds.
you want to link your various social networking feeds together, it's one way.
Yeah, we've
to
already
do it.
heard stuff that possibly Resistance might be doing some of the same stuff with their communities things. So, if they can tie into that as well, it might be interesting.
Yeah, I don't know that this might not. Do you talk about Resistance? I think other games will go that route.
Yeah.
I don't know if this might be actually bypassed before it becomes relevant.
I hear this and I'm like, that sounds like too much work for me, and like I don't care to know what my friends are all playing, and I don't think people care.
Right, it's yet it's yet another account you have to sign up for.
I know, yeah.
So there's another layer to this thing that then creates a game page around you that shows all the games you played, how much time you put in them. I mean, keep in mind that Dennis was into Xfire, which Xfire had all that sort of stats, where you could have like the forum tag that said
Xfire was nice.
Xfire was cool for what it did, but then it had a lot of extra stuff where it'd be like, I played World of Warcraft for 80 hours last week. Maybe I don't want to be reminded of that.
Dennis is deep in the pro gaming realm, and I think those kind of people will like this.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it has some stat keeping there. I went over and checked out the site. It has some it has charts and graphs. Who doesn't like Andrew charts and graphs?
Venn diagram.
It does not have a Venn diagram, although it should.
Fuck it.
It should have a Venn diagram. Fuck that goddamn thing.
What would the overlapping circles be in your Venn diagram? Like Brewers, baseball, and World of Warcraft? Like
Beer.
And beer.
Wow, there's the linkage right there.
right there.
The other thing it does is, you remember that shadow program that ran in the background of your PC? And I think IDOS was the ones who were really big in it. That's what it was. It was Game Shadow. It did updates whenever there was patches for games. It would automatically would grab them and patch your games.
Okay.
So this also does that for PC games. So whatever PC games you've told it you have, it'll keep an eye on the official sites when there's a patch release.
Okay. Well, a lot of the games do that already.
I know.
Yeah.
So
Steam does that. A lot of other games do that.
So we're not. It doesn't sound like we're very sold on Raptor.
It seems like unnecessary.
He's got his work cut out for him if he wants to impress us.
I bet it'll be more successful.
I think he should partner with
this
EA
clown?
if he wants to be a success.
He's only worth $80 million.
I believe he'll have more success with this than having people watch Quake matches on television, which was his last venture.
I think he may have actually already partnered with EA. You might.
Really?
Yeah, I think he may.
Oh, so
Really?
I love Dennis Fong.
Anyway.
You got to hand it to him, though. He's quite the entrepreneur. He's always got his hands in whatever.
Very charismatic too.
Very nice guy.
Yeah, I think the thing about this is it's another layer, and I feel like all of games are already on the internet. They're not something that's removed from that. I think that smart, progressive game designers will just build in all this functionality, and you won't have to worry about going through another portal to add it. You'll just have Facebook and Twitter and all that crap built into your game.
Agreed.
Song export went live on Rock Band this week.
Is it $5 per song?
No,
it's like total.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
one-time fee.
It's $4.99, and so you'll be able to have all of your songs ready when Rock Band 2 hits on September.
480 space bucks.
Nice.
$4. It's 400 Microsoft points. It's $4.99,
Okay.
right?
Oh.
I'm sorry, I have my conversion rate. The dollar is stronger these days. So.
The space buck has gotten much stronger.
Dollar stronger against the space buck.
The dollar rises against space bucks. Film at 11. You got 55 of the Rock Band songs. So there's 3 that didn't make it. First of all, you're going to need about 1.5 gig on your hard drive to get ready for it.
What 3 songs didn't make it?
So this sucks because they're all good.
Yeah.
Run to the Hills, by Iron Maiden. Bummer. Paranoid by Black Sabbath. Bummer. And Enter Sandman by Metallica. Fail.
Oh,
yeah.
I wonder why that didn't make it.
Well, yeah. So anyway, that's a total fail. There wasn't really any talk about why those didn't come across, but I think that
Licensing problems.
Yeah, they couldn't sign another deal.
Yeah, probably so. What else we have?
Wait, speaking of that, wasn't there something about Nirvana's Nevermind being
Never gonna happen. That's what I heard.
Oh, never gonna happen.
They said they said it was never promised. I don't have
Or
the
need
reason.
love needs drugs. Pay for themselves.
She's sold it to many commercials already. But
And then Harmonix community manager Sean Baptiste also commented that a few of their recent release songs have had unhittable notes, which will be corrected.
That sucks.
I know that does suck, doesn't it?
Does it extend further?
By the way,
than
remember how you were about ready to break your guitar, or you did? Maybe if you broke your guitar playing one of those, maybe you should solicit Sean for a
the legendary
guitar.
burgundy button?
Yeah, there's like a purple note. You never see one.
Yeah, what does that
Where's
even
button?
mean? What does that mean?
brown notes.
I don't know. Maybe there was no way to hit the window. Maybe there was no way to hit the timing window. I don't know.
They were imaginary
If you
notes.
try holding it down, your finger immediately breaks.
Last week, a couple of developments with Tecmo. A couple of developments, and they're very interesting. First one was that
Vultures fighting over that carcass.
Vultures. Yes.
Yeah, seriously.
So Square, we didn't do news at PAX, did we? So we never talked about
But
the
Square
Square
Enix's
offer.
plan to take the friendly takeover they planned.
Right. So that was
How'd that plan work out for him?
Not so friendly.
Would you like to go ahead?
You have it right there.
Well, right, so it was destined to be done by September the 4th. The proposal was rejected, but not only was it rejected, the odd thing was right after that they put in motion merging with Koei.
They got cock-blocked by Samurai.
As I was explaining, Koei is secretly really, really important in Japan.
Well, right. So explain why.
Well, they own like some factories that make a lot of the discs in Japan.
So this is a big deal. So
they're-
they wield
they're
a lot.
family-
So they
they're
wield a lot of
family-
power.
they're family-owned company.
family-owned company. That family is very strong.
Yeah.
It's the woman. She's a lady who runs it. She's hardcore, and her husband is the main producer there. So
Yeah.
it's they're serious.
So Tecmo had an interesting statement talking about. So they seem to think obviously that the Dynasty Warriors is a nice match with Ninja Gaiden. Kind of gives them like the best of the world. It said as the game industry environment changes with high-powered hardware, portable game machines, and rapid growth, as well as online mobile games, the accelerated consumer needs are varied and sophisticated. The industry has intensified. Multi-platform and importance of overseas markets is pushing the industry towards global competition.
At least Koei will finally have a next-gen engine they can run their games on.
Ouch.
Oh, hey. And Tecmo will have at least 3 new games under development by Team Ninja available for us to check out at Tokyo Game Show.
I'm really curious to see what these non-Itagaki Team Ninja things are like. We'll see.
Well, I mean, one of the key pieces out of this for me is that Jim Hasegawa, who was the guy from Fatal Frame, has been leading Team Ninja since July 1st.
He wasn't the main guy.
He wasn't the main guy, but he's out of the Fatal Frame team. He was one of the producers, right?
He was.
So where does he going with this? What do
Taking
you
pictures of ninjas.
Ghost Ninja frame?
Yeah, I mean, it's
Ninja Ghost frame.
It's curious because Itagaki is so tied to what you think of Team Ninja. Like,
Right.
without him, who knows what it's going to be?
Yeah.
So there'll be 3 games. They'll be at TGS. You and I will be there, and I'm gonna be there for a long while. Actually, we're gonna do Tokyo right. Tokyo, if you're listening,
Watch out.
watch out.
9 months later, little Garnet's walking out. Inappropriate.
Wow.
That's
Inappropriate.
Inappropriate.
Yeah.
Kind of disturbing.
What were you like channeling my bullshit there for a minute? I'm the one who makes those kind of off-color bullshit remarks. Give me a break.
Skip's writing it down.
Yeah.
Oh, leave it in. That's right. You don't want to mess with that shit tonight, dude. Just leave it in there. So, those prior comments they're left in there because, hey, Andrew wants to come out and drink with me on my birthday. And Jess gave you the night off. I believe that was basically why she was telling me goodbye when she was leaving. That's awesome. Andrew Freed, he's in good shape. So we have anything else about Tecmo? They also showed a DS game, which the mystery title was... God, I have to brush back up on my vowel pronunciation of Japanese games.
me see.
Nishimuro Kowataro Suspensi Shintantai?
Very nice.
Oh, actually, this
Did I do that? I fucked up at least
Just
2 or
like
3
a white
words
man.
there. Which I am, so there's some relief there.
I'm more excited about Nostalgia, which is being made by it's this DS RPG. It looks kind of like Skies of Arcadia. You're in airships. It's being made by people who used to work on Far East of Eden and Grandia. It looks kind of cool.
Unless it's called Tecmo
wait.
Bowl, I don't care.
Back up, Grandia?
Yeah, Grandia.
And then
And Mr. Kikuchi, who's the main guy behind Fatal Frame, is the producer of that game.
That actually is really cool.
Nostalgia.
I want to check out
I'm
that
sure it's going to come out here, for sure.
at TGS, definitely.
Seriously though, where's Tecmo
Okay,
Bowl?
that's exciting.
Where's Tecmo Bowl?
It's coming. It's coming.
Can't come soon enough.
Man, Grandia was so good. Grandia on the Dreamcast? Shit, fucking
Where's this
awesome
Garnet?
game.
Your nipples are hard.
That's Grandia 2.
I played Grandia too. Great
Really?
game.
Yes, it was
I did.
Grandia too. Sorry, but
It's a very strong anti-Roman Catholic Church subtext.
it's a
Well, I
fucking
liked
great
it.
game. Anyway,
Just saying.
moving right along. Oh, you know what? We need to before we get to this one, we need to talk about Microsoft's.
Please, I hope you're going to say Microsoft's commercial. Because that's what I want to talk
All right,
about.
well, sure, we can talk about. So before we go to Japan and talk about the Microsoft's initiatives in Japan, let's talk about Jerry Seinfeld.
Premiere of the first fruits of the $300,000 ad.
$300 million.
I'm sorry, $300 million. I'm drunk. $300 million.
Best episode of Seinfeld since they went to jail.
Did you not see it?
No.
Okay, so Bill Gates, Seinfeld, the new Vista.
Oh, God.
The Vista ad campaign to combat Apple's.
Are those the conquistadors?
It is
It is the worst.
Wait,
the worst commercial.
Wait, Bill Gates with Seinfeld? You're not kidding?
So the plot of the commercial is 90 seconds long.
It's awesome. It's so good, Jeff.
Shut up. It's 90 seconds long.
Shut up.
They're like a David Lynch film.
They're like a Payless shoe store buying shoes.
No. It's like the Carnival of Shoes or some bullshit like that. And Bill Gates has like his little card that has like this ancient picture of him. It's fucking hilarious.
So mugshot.
So yeah, throughout it there are like 5 or 6 cute little in jokes that super nerds will get, like the picture of Bill Gates mugshot, and there's also like metaphorical symbolism in what they're talking about.
Would you like a churro?
Between Macs and PCs. However, ultimately, it's 90 seconds of 2 out-of-touch nerds shopping for shoes, not talking about any product. There's no product being sold.
Hater.
There's no lifestyle being sold.
Hater.
It is horrible. Everybody thinks it's horrible.
Hater.
Why
Except for me and Molly Wood.
Why is Seinfeld doing this?
Because they paid him.
He's so sad.
He
doesn't need money.
He's got to buy his 50th Porsche.
Oh my
He
God!
does a lot of
whore.
commercials. He did the Hewlett-Packard commercial. He did the American Express commercial. He's done commercials.
Those 8-story car garages in the Hamptons don't buy themselves.
But I can understand people really in the know might think it's kind of clever, but I think the average consumer would be like, "What the fuck did I just watch?"
So is this to combat the Apple versus PC?
Sure, that's what they say, right?
Well, and this is the first of a planned series, and they say the other ones won't be so subtle, but still.
Look, I will agree with you that it's not a good advertisement, but it's fucking funny little minute-and-a-half
there's
video
moments
short.
that are funny.
It's a
but
great video short.
I just came out of it feeling like Microsoft is hopelessly out of touch because the Apple ads are funny and creative.
Yeah,
and
they are.
Fire their entire marketing department.
It's like suddenly everyone is like a sophomore in advertising school. They're like, "This is not a good advertisement."
Didn't you just say that? This is not a good advertisement.
Yeah, I know, but who cares? It's fun to watch. It's fun to watch.
Any consumer has the ability to decide whether or not the commercial they just saw was effective, and it was not effective.
But we're looking at this in different ways. Do you watch Seinfeld at all?
I love Seinfeld.
Okay, so just watch the damn ad as like a free minute-and-a-half Seinfeld.
No, to me, it just
it's not selling shit, dude. It is not selling a damn thing.
I came out of it like Microsoft.
That sounds like an amazing advertising campaign.
But as long as they're going to pay for me to get to watch a minute-and-a-half of Seinfeld, hell, give me a whole 30-minute ad.
But it doesn't change the fact that Vista still sucks.
It doesn't.
Maybe it's good they don't even
You can laugh at the commercial.
They don't talk about Vista at all. Maybe it's good.
They do talk about churros.
Their last online advertising campaign, it began with people talking about how bad Vista was. That's an amazing ad campaign.
And Shane, I know that you shower with your clothes on all the time anyway, so what are you talking shit for?
What are you even talking about?
What?
I thought you watched the ad.
I did watch that. What part was that?
Go back and watch the ad.
Wait, he showers with his clothes on?
Right, to save time.
Oh, yeah, they make a joke about it.
Oh.
And why is he saying
And then he's walking like he's got a wedgie in his pants. It's so effective.
I don't even want to see this.
You need to see it.
Actually, you should watch it.
It's on YouTube.
Talking about it.
All right, we're going to stop talking about it. Moving right along. Microsoft is still endeavoring to take the Japanese market. So they, as a prelude to the American price drops, which we'll talk just about in just a minute, they had a big Tokyo media briefing in which they unveiled new pricing for the hardware in Japan. They also had several luminaries.
That pricing had already been leaked like 2 weeks ago.
They also had several luminaries from the development communities over there speak. So Shane, I'm going to let you you want to hop in here. What do you think? Because you've been one of the harshest critics.
Ninja Blade?
Let's talk about first about the hardware and the Japan marketplace for in specific.
Okay.
So with Tails, which we know sold a lot of hardware.
Tales of Vesperia created a giant bump for 1 week. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Does that provide them enough momentum that with a sales? No, with a price drop, it's still not going to catch. No chance of it ever catching.
I mean, each big release that they can put out will cause another small bump, but as you see, the week after, it completely over. Tails, plummeted off the charts after 1 week.
Do you think they could ever get to a spot where they've done enough little bumps that they somehow sort of sneak into the market?
No.
No?
I mean, how many of those people that were buying Vesperia systems were just trading in their old systems for the new one?
Well, that's what in Japan that happens often. Is people buy it for the one game and then sell it back as soon as they're finished.
We're gonna have to go to Trader when we get there.
Yeah, you could
we should go to Trader.
Probably get a Vesperia bundle for cheap.
When we go there, we should go to Trader and walk around and see. Trader, by the way, is one of the big chains that has a lot of used games in it. We should go see how many available hardware pieces there are in their used section. I think it won't be scientific, but it'd be an interesting thing to look at.
But yeah, in terms of a long-term plan for sustainability in Japan, good luck.
All right, I will defer to you on that. I don't disagree. I don't know.
Although the Ninja Blade game, which is being made by From, it looks remarkably like a Ninja Gaiden set in downtown Japan, has good graphics. If it's made by the Otogi guys, could be really good. We'll see the team.
It is made by the Otogi guys, and it's been said that it looks too much like Otogi, although it has
I think
several.
it looks more like Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah.
It has several real-world environments. I think they talked about one of the train stations being inside of it.
It's set in downtown. It should be. I'm definitely excited for it. From can make good games.
What would it have to do to get you impressed? What would it wait a minute. Let's
have good gameplay.
Let's back up for a second. What would it have to do to catch with the Japanese audience and be worthwhile to them? To be exciting, like to make the media briefing worthwhile.
PS3.
I mean,
Other than something snarky like PS3.
Well, I'm just saying that's the only thing that's going to do it.
yeah. I mean, Ninja Blade isn't going to suddenly vault the Xbox 360 into first place.
All right. We also had I lost Inafumi's comments. This is what happens, folks, when you don't have enough time to coordinate all this stuff. Inafumi also talked about the plans that Capcom has to dominate the world market. They're going to bring. Of course, they're partnering again to bring Grand Theft Auto 4 to Japan.
And I think it'll do really well, actually. The last few, the PS2 GTAs sold hundreds of thousands of copies in Japan. They did.
So he also showed off Street Fighter 4. Of course, Street Fighter 4 is going to do very well. There's been rumors that the arcade cabinet is almost being treated as like an informal beta for the home console version.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've played it, but it's horribly unfinished. It has 6 backgrounds, and God, they better add some more shit to the home version.
All right, he brought to the audience.
Has no endings.
It's
like an alpha.
They just recently added Akuma as a playable character.
Wow, I don't know what to say. All right. He doesn't want to let Japanese development get washed over in the world development space. So he's done I think Capcom's been one of the companies that's more progressive about approaching and combining Western development.
As I've heard again recently, Dead Rising 2 being made in America.
There you go. That's not going to be any big surprise because it's sold.
Well, no, it is a big surprise because we heard that rumor originally, and Capcom was like, "Please, no, it's not being made in America. No,
well, right,
no,
of
no,
course.
no." And
of course,
it is.
Of course,
Turns out it is.
Is that a bad thing?
Depends on who you ask.
Yeah, depends on who's making
It depends on who's making it.
Yeah.
The 360 sales strength is really in the North American market, and it was announced that effective today, for my birthday,
Happy birthday.
Aaron decided to knock a little money off the price of those 360s.
It's now cheaper than a Wii.
So the arcade is now at $199 and available on store shelves, unlike the Wii.
That's an impulse buy. That's like
well,
you're in the
impulse
checkout
buy.
lane. You're like, I want that.
Yeah, they're gonna stack them right by the exit at Fry's.
Is the Wii still not easily available?
No.
God, that's just unbelievable.
It really is. When I was looking at the story and I was like doing like my quick fact check on it. Even going to Amazon, like the cheapest one on Amazon was, of course, like some weird third party or whatever, and it was $400. Like, really, $400 2 years later. Wow, that's nuts. So they dropped the price on these things. The arcade is $200, the premium is $300, and the elite is $400. And keep in mind that the premium now sports, what is it, 60 gig hard. Right? 60 gig hard drive?
Sounds
60.
right.
So you got a 60 gig hard drive on the premium, and the elite comes in at $400 with the 120 gig hard drive and the wireless adapter.
They also
doesn't it have the wireless adapter?
No,
it doesn't.
No, it does not.
Why have they not done that yet? By the way, console manufacturers, why do you keep fucking us on these two things?
Actually,
if you're Sony,
every other console has wireless.
no, but Sony doesn't include a freaking headset with their damn PS3. I want a headset in my PS3, and I want a wireless adapter in my 360, and it's stupid that they don't do it.
Those aren't even items. Those aren't equal at all.
Well, you know what? They're not. Here's they're not.
Okay, magnitude of 4 price difference there. Any
Magnitude of 2.
USB headset works on. Any USB or Bluetooth headset works on PS3.
But Sony showed off their new headset for
that's
the
$40. It's not.
It's 50. It's $50, and it is really nice.
Yeah, but you also no. It's only 40, and it comes with SOCOM as well.
It's 50.
In Japan. Not
It's $49.99, dude.
Let's make a deal.
It's
Price is right.
$39.
I'll take $1.
It is. I'm telling you, I wrote the story.
It's $39.99.
It's $49.99.
Why would it be $49.99 when it
Where's
comes with
Drew
SOCOM
Carey
for
when you need him?
$59.99?
I don't know. You tell me.
The actual price is
$1.
$49.99.
Thank you, sir. Anyway, they need to have a headset packed in with the device. And Microsoft, you need to have something other than just an RJ14 plug in the back of that thing. Is stupid.
Why do they have these multiple configurations too?
That's a great question.
For fuck's sake, they do it with Vista too. I mean, it's just
It's anti-consumer.
it is anti-consumer.
It is.
Maybe Bill Gates and Jerry Seinfeld come out and tell us why there's home premium.
I doubt it. They'll probably just talk about crazy shit.
It's to make it more tasty.
Because the average consumer doesn't know shit about this stuff.
Windows
They
don't
just want to
care.
buy
Windows
an
Vista-
Xbox for their nephew or whatever, and they don't know.
This just reminded me of the slogan at the end of that commercial. Windows Vista, delicious. Delicious.
That's what I'm saying. It's delicious.
What?
And soft and chewy like a cake. So how much impact will this price break have?
I think it's going to sell a lot of arcade units.
I do too.
Yeah, I mean, the vast majority of the percentage of Xbox Ones that sold were after it dropped in price down to $199, then even further when it dropped to
But $199 is definitely a magic number.
But what does it mean when you sell a lot of arcade units? Like, what does that do to your overall install base? Because you are dividing them, and it's,
So what does this thing come with?
It comes with a 512 meg memory card.
Okay.
Which is equal to the amount of storage on a Wii.
Right.
To be fair.
All right, but it does differentiate the 360
Absolutely.
from the PS3.
And developers
and
still
from
have
the
to develop for
360s.
both types of systems with hard drive without.
I think it's a big deal going into holiday because I don't think someone's going to go into a Walmart looking for a Wii and buy an arcade unit 360. But I think that there will be people.
If they have screenshots of avatars on the back of the box, some people might.
Well, and,
Maybe.
I mean, and
Maybe.
Pactor was saying that like the people who are looking for Maddens and Tony Hawks, as if Tony Hawk was still something that pushes people to buy consoles.
But Madden
he's out
does.
of touch. But yeah, like if you're the person who wants like Madden and racing game and kids game, like
Then it
and
makes
they're
a
out of
difference.
Wii's, maybe you will buy that.
Okay, so what
I
will
agree
this
with.
what will this not let you play? What will this screw you out of if you buy this?
I mean,
arcade?
obviously, you can't download a lot of map packs for games online.
Can't download like the big movies off the video store.
Okay, so your average gamer probably doesn't need anything more than this. Is that right?
Well, you just opened a
What's
whole
your
can of
average
words
gamer,
because
yeah.
what's an average
so
gamer?
do you feel that it kind of cripples the overall Xbox Live experience to have an arcade?
I think that it kind of entrenches the division instead of erasing it. And I think it would have been great for them instead of doing the $199 arcade pack to just get rid of the hard drive free.
All those leftover 20 gig hard drives.
Yes,
just slap on the
It
arcade
feels really fucking stingy.
It does.
Just give everybody a
At this
fucking
point, it
hard
almost
drive.
just seems
Come
like it's
on.
stubborn.
I agree.
But having said that, it does seem like most gamers, I don't know, you're right, average gamers, it's a very difficult thing to say, but like, I'm never going to download a movie or whatever on my Xbox. I've got the PC for that. I don't know.
But they're still trapped in this spot where they have mixed messages because one of the pieces of the live puzzle that they like to promote a lot is all of this video content.
That's been extremely successful. It's still like the most successful
they're doing really well.
on-demand, outside of cable company video content. That you
Why
can
not
online.
give me the tool to use that? Why are you going back to trying to push in the holiday season, push this device that has no hard drive in it and can't get any downloadable content? So again, you're only talking about Fallout 3. Can I get?
And they did just lower the price on the hard drives, but it's still like woefully overpriced.
You would think that the better strategy would be to give people the hard drive so that they could download that video if it is as successful as you're saying.
Yeah.
Because then more people are going to do it, right? I don't know.
Yeah,
And
to me,
make more money.
Right.
To me, the strategy would have been to finally sell the right set of components in the box, which is a good hard drive and a wireless adapter, all in one package at a good price, and make that your holiday package. But they didn't. They chose not to do that. That's fine.
And Sony has said that they're not surprised by this or not affected by it. And I think,
course not.
It makes them. They have to play up the Blu-ray and the fact that the PS3, it's a lot more expensive, but it's a
weird 'cause,
multi-use
Sony
device.
seems to be going the opposite direction. Where they're adding like 160 gig system, where it seems like the $400 system was like a really good price point for them. It's really weird.
Which is interesting to me because I'm not sure how much. I think that for the short term, the PS3 as a Blu-ray drive was a good argument. In the long term, the price for a dedicated Blu-ray player is going to continue to drop. Lloyd Case, when we were doing Cranky Geeks this week, predicted that we'd have. I'm just saying,
They're
Lloyd,
just now 300, dude. Like that's new.
Okay.
Like 300 is new for Blu-ray.
300 is new. Lloyd Case said that he was guessing that this holiday season, because they're already at under 300 prior to the season, you'll see at least one, if not two, sub $200 Blu-ray players. When you get to that point, people who want a Blu-ray player but don't want a PS3, stop buying PS3s and start buying Blu-ray
Well, it's
players.
interesting. They also are just launching Blu-ray players now that have capabilities PS3 doesn't have. They just launched a Blu-ray player that has Netflix streaming on it.
Okay.
And
Right.
that's one of the bullet points Microsoft was pulling out of E3. So if you have dedicated Blu-ray players, which may or may not be less expensive than the PS3, and you don't care about the gaming stuff,
There's a beta right now. I forget what it's called. It's a piece of software.
Yeah,
that you can do Netflix.
right?
on PS3.
And you can do Netflix right now on your 360 with Vista Home Premium. If you're
Yeah,
streaming.
that's personally my take on all this stuff. Is like I don't want any more fucking
You just
discs
want it
in
to
my
work.
house of any kind. I don't want any more CDs. I don't want any more games.
And
I don't want any more movies.
And you don't want to have to download software to do it. You just want it to work.
Yep.
Exactly.
Just let it work. Let me enjoy my content where I want to, how I want to, whenever I want to.
I mean, I think there's a strange chance that all three consoles are going to be incredibly successful this fall.
That would be fantastic. That would be
Everybody
so
wins.
good. That would be everybody wins. If you go back to the PS2 comparison, DVD was a huge thing originally, particularly in Japan, where the PS2 was, again, like the PS3 as a Blu-ray player. PS2 was the first consumer DVD player, and everybody hopped on it. And then as that went away, PS2s were less and less your DVD player, and they were more your game machine.
And it's interesting you bring up like the possibility of all three systems being incredibly successful. Obviously, the last few months, PS3 has outsold Xbox 360. Will that be able to continue, where you have a lot of exclusive major releases coming on Xbox 360 and on PS3? Not necessarily anything that equates to it.
Just for funsies, anybody want to?
You're saying MotorStorm kills? Not kills. MotorStorm Resistance, Little Big Planet. Nothing that is as big as Viva Pinata to you, or Banjo.
Well, I'm talking specifically about Gears of War 2 and Fable 2. I don't think Gears of War 2. I mean, Resistance will probably sell well, but it's not even going to come close.
Yeah, I mean,
to Gears of War 2.
outsell it, but Fable could go either way. Fable 1 sold a million. Fable sold a million copies, but I don't think Fable 2 is necessarily like AAA sales. We'll see.
I don't think it's AAA sales, and part of that is that at this point, the marketing plan for it's in a weird spot. I mean, where's the Fable 2 momentum right now? It's not. It's just not. So I mean, I don't know how they recover that.
And it'd also be interesting to where games like Fallout 3, how that sales breakdown.
Fallout 3. It should be big on everything.
Yeah, Fallout 3 is the opposite. It's like, it's a game, it could have been obscure, but it's rolling really well. It's got public momentum behind it. And I think Fable 2 guys were really counting on the pub games to give them a bump, and it was like
backlash, really. Some really negative reviews.
The only way that momentum could have kept it if they'd have left the exploits where you can get all the gold you want.
And that would have only been for a small core market. Okay, so you guys, while we're just doing this, we're talking about it. We're going to have lots of holiday shows, but while Jeff's here, rank them 1, 2, 3 hardware sales for this holiday season.
Wii is number 1.
Obviously. Is anyone going to disagree with Wii?
No.
Okay, so I guess all we have to do, so everyone's going to say Wii's number 1. All we have to do is PS3 or 360.
I think it's going to be close.
Just call it off the top of your head.
I would
September the 5th.
I would say 360 just because of the 200 price point.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say whichever has the most EA games.
That's a multi-platform publisher, so it'll be on the it'll be the same, I think.
Right.
Right, except they'll run at 60 frames on 360.
Except for Mirror's Edge will run better on PS3.
That's right, and have exclusive content. Jeff's just going to abstain, I guess.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck either. Well, we're just for funds.
I don't know. Shit.
How many PCs are going to sell this fall?
How many PCs? Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see what the breakdown is on Fallout 3 with PC versus console in general. That to me is an interesting question.
Especially since Bethesda's been really awesome about opening up mod support for their games.
Right.
It adds so much more functionality than you could possibly ever get on a console.
And just in general, it kind of warms my heart that this franchise is like having such good buzz on the console, because this is a PC franchise.
It was. I think that the question is kind of, is this a reskinned Oblivion, which would make it more of like a 360 sort of game, or is it a spiritual successor to Fallout, which was a PC game? Because obviously it's obviously not a Fallout PC sequel. I mean, it's not the third game. So it's interesting to see which way that'll break. I guess that question to me comes down to, will the people who really loved Fallout but have been feeling betrayed about it, when it comes down to it, go buy the game and get excited about it again?
We will see.
I think they will. I think they'll see that Fallout vibe, and then they'll want to go get back into that world. What do you think, Dave? PS3 or 360?
I think the price point, 360, and also Gears of War 2 is still a huge franchise. Like they sold so many copies of the first one, and that's probably going to continue. So, I mean, I just can't imagine PS3 outselling it.
I think in Europe, PS3 will outsell 360.
You know what? That's it. I agree with Shane 100%. I think
in Japan.
Yeah, it's the same breakdown. Europe and Japan, PS3. United States and Great Britain. 360.
North America, and maybe, I don't know. You know what? I think just North America 360 will come out ahead, and I think that even in the UK, PS3 will eke out a win, because Little Big Planet's going to be huge. It's going to have some nationalistic pride there for the Englanders, and I think it'll work.
We all agree that Wii's going to still win.
Oh yeah.
We worldwide dominance continues. Surprise, shock, whatever.
There's no stopping that thing.
There is no stopping that thing. There might be stopping the Xbox 360 though. Who was this at Epic that said that the Xbox 360 was reaching the upper end of its graphical power? That would be senior producer Rod Ferguson in an interview with Gamasutra talking about Gears of War 2.
What's interesting about his comments is it's kind of like, well, we're reaching the upper echelon of what we can do with Unreal Engine 3 on this console. So therefore, that obviously means that that's all it's capable of.
Yeah, basically it says I'm not the technical guy. So my ability to
let me
speak...
tell you, let me make a huge overgeneralized technical statement here.
Oh, I know.
I think it's been blown out. I think that quote's been blown out of proportion.
It's almost as valuable as Shane telling you that they got there. All I know is that with the 2 or 3 more years of optimization that we've had, we're much further along than I think 3 years ago we thought we were going to get. So I think we're certainly approaching the upper end of it as far as what developers are able to do with it. But just looking at all the demos we saw today, ours and others, it's clear that all the games just keep improving and keep pushing that bar. So
development tools keep improving, and what developers can do, what they can do now versus when the Xbox 360 launched, it's not even close.
And as he noted, some of the games that they were talking about are, stuff that's in development won't even ship until 2010.
This doesn't remind me the story I heard today. They rumored that NVIDIA is desperately trying to sell their new graphics chip, which I forget what it's called, has like Laramie. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah,
they're trying to sell it to Microsoft as the core of the new console, because in order to get back in, because like NVIDIA's fallen off the PC, right? Their cards aren't that popular anymore.
No, NVIDIA are the popular ones.
I thought ATI beat them in the PC.
No, NVIDIA still top.
Not.
Yeah.
The ATI part is actually doing very well in their latest
But
piece.
the 360 is ATI powered, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
if they go with NVIDIA for the next one, then backwards compatibility becomes an issue again. So that's like a hot new
Xbox One backwards compatibility suddenly really good again.
By the way, there were just 35 posts that were like, "Why is Shane talking about PC? He knows nothing about PC."
I don't know.
Oh my God, what are we?
That's why I was asking Jeff Green, because he knows everything.
And I don't care.
Yeah.
It's a very odd mindset to me that the statement about that they've reached the upper end, as if that's some sort of like negative statement or something to despair over, and now we've got to start working on the next one. It's like, okay, so now that you've mastered this thing, why don't you just focus on the gameplay and make some good games? Like, why do we have to now start thinking about buying another console?
It's also, if you watch console cycles, it's very lame of him to say that, because some of the best, like Super Nintendo games 7 years in, or God of War 7 years
when
in.
the best games come.
We're only 3 years into 360.
Exactly.
You've really maxed it out, loser. Like, come on.
Because at that point, not only do they have the engines down, but then dev teams are really able to work on the tools. And I mean, one of the secrets that developers will tell you about, I mean, it's not a secret to them, but the secrets to the consumer is that how well a game turns out has a lot to do with the development tools that the team has to work with. Because being able to prototype stuff and get it into the game and play with it really quickly and then refine it makes all the difference in the world of being bogged down and not being able to get stuff out to QA and not be able to get,
Well, one of the things that I think, this is probably not what he's talking about, but like going forward in the next year or two, one of the things that's probably going to begin to start limiting 360 is disk size, quite honestly. I mean, that's going
to be an interesting
I've spoken with some
situation.
developers that have said like the texture quality they have had to really,
Carmack said this about Rage.
They've had to make major sacrifices on texture detail on 360 because of disk size.
However, the wild card to this is that with the update that's coming this fall, you'll be able to install those games to your hard drive. So what's to prevent them from having 3 or 4 discs where you just sit there and the 360 will be like the PC world.
There'll be all those new arcade owners. That's what's stopping.
Exactly. The arcade owners would get screwed out of this deal.
They have got to bring the price of the hard drive down. It's simple as that.
Or they can just do like PC World has been accustomed to. They'll have different texture models depending on which system you have. You have a high performance system.
Let's make the job.
So
for
in
the
5 years, the Xbox
harder.
360 will be a PC. That's
a
great evolution.
Yeah. Did you ever doubt?
We're back in 1980.
Did you doubt that was where it was going?
Yeah.
I mean, wasn't that handwriting on the wall? That's why they don't need to put Gears of War 2 on the PC, because the 360 already is a PC. Cliffy says that Gears of War is a great franchise, first and foremost, for the Xbox 360, and therefore we're focusing on that platform for Gears of War 2. We've decided we're not going to do a PC version this time around.
That's a great reason. We're not doing it because it's such a good thing where it is. Why would we want to put it somewhere else?
More sales sucks.
How did Gears do on PC?
EA's going to love you.
We don't want to sell more copies.
How did it do on PC? Did it sell well? Or was it kind of a disappointment?
Don't know about the numbers.
It wasn't like it did on 360.
Yeah, I don't think so. The game itself was...
It's such a console-focused game.
Yeah, I had problems with it on the PC.
Like when I was playing it on PC, like the keyboard and mouse stuff just feels weird.
Yeah,
that's exactly
a bit of
what
a
Chris pointed out. Chris said that it was ported to PC last November, a full year after it debuted on the Xbox 360 in 2006. While it was generally well received and had content that wasn't included in the 360 version, the main complaint was that the console-developed shooter designed from the ground up to be played with a controller didn't translate smoothly to a mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
I think if the reason is the game, like here's what I would say to that, and I loved Gears of War on the Xbox 360. Okay, so I'm speaking about this not as somebody who didn't like the franchise, but I don't, as a PC guy, essentially a PC guy, I don't need Gears of War 2 on the PC.
Right.
So if they're saying that, it's like, well, that's cool because it wasn't that great on the PC, you know. So I don't think PC fans or PC only players are necessarily missing out on Gears of War 2. Yet, I don't understand why they wouldn't do it anyway, because they just get more money.
That's an interesting point. But I mean, wouldn't it be sort of maybe like the reverse situation would be Stalker on 360 PS3? Where, you know, Stalker works great on PC. It's a great PC game. Everybody's happy with it there. That's the place to play it.
But that's it's a smaller team working on Stalker. And you have to add a lot of people.
I realize that I'm not comparing straight up apples to apples, but I'm trying to just like say, like, pick another game then that's a PC game.
You know, like Crisis Warhead.
Okay, so
I guess I'd say if they're not going to go to any effort in Gears of War 2, if they would have no plans to make it more keyboard and mouse centric and make it a little more PC centric, then don't bother. You're right. Don't port it.
So all that having been said, is there anyone that doubts that there will eventually be a PC version? It just won't be Epic that does it. It won't. Someone else will do it.
It wasn't Epic that did the first one.
Right. So, I mean, come on. Duh, Cliff. Epic won't be working on it, but you guys will be, like, supporting whoever is. Come on. There's going to be a 360. There's going to be a PC version. They'll have DX11 enhancements.
Yeah.
They'll be telling us about it.
I mean, did you ever play the extra content on Gears of War PC?
The Brumac part?
That was all right.
It's kind of boring.
It was fine.
Well, which one was it? Was it fine or was it not fine?
Well, I mean, basically, you show up in the Brumac and they say, shoot his paws, shoot his legs, he dies, have fun. Move on to the next level. That's what literally, they're yelling at you. Shoot his hands, shoot his paws.
He has paws?
Yeah, well, I don't know what you call it. It's fucking Blizzard.
Right,
Lizards don't have paws.
Hands. They don't have hands.
They don't have paws.
Appendages.
Strong finish, guys.
Strong finish. Strong finish, yes.
I feel like Jeff should say something.
Jeff,
should I
would you like to
say?
say a few words for the crowd?
I love you. What am I going to say?
Some Sims fanfic.
Oh, God. I'll save that for next week's
What do you say to all the outcry of love, the outpouring of emotion that's sweeping across the internet?
I'm very thankful and grateful for that, and that means a lot to me. And it was, as I think I said on one of the forums, the hardest part for me in quitting was going to be the reaction from the kids.
When you read those threads, you get a little choked up?
I did get a little choked up. This wasn't easy for me, but as I've now posted and I've said in the office here, 17 years, it's a long fucking time. It's a long time. In this generation, well, we're kind of separate generations almost, but this is kind of thing of something our dads did and our dad's dad to work at the same place for 17 years. So the fact that I made it this long is kind of like unbelievable and a little pathetic.
I gotta say,
and
pretty sad.
Thank you. I don't want to come off like I'm blowing smoke up your ass, Jeff, but like seriously,
oh, that feels good.
Working
literally
working with you has been like amazing. You're seriously like one of the coolest people I've ever worked with in my entire life, and I cannot say enough nice things about you.
Thanks. Well,
and like this office will be a lesser place for not having you around.
Thanks,
and that's
David.
a shame.
All right, I'll jump in there. I'll say, Jeff, you've always been an example to me. And there's never been a time that when I was working on anything editorial, I couldn't just stop for a second and say, well, how would Jeff Green approach this? What would be the right
differently from the way you're doing it?
WWJD.
Less alcohol.
I'm just kidding.
What
right,
would Jeff do?
I'm just teasing.
I'm glad that actually we've had a little bit of drink, because otherwise I'd probably be crying and upset, because Jeff, it's been an honor to work with you.
It's been an honor to work with all of you guys and to represent OneUp and to to be able to entertain people and get that kind of feedback from fans. We're all people who write and play games for a living, and I think I could speak for all of us here that when we actually get fan mail, because all of us here do, it's kind of a humbling and mind-blowing experience. I mean, because we go home and we're just like normal fucking dorks. So when you have people like, I'm sure you guys experience this at PAX, right? People asking for you guys' autograph.
It's,
You're like, Jesus,
surreal, but
why is anyone asking for my autograph?
It's surreal, but it's flattering.
It's flattering. Yeah. And that part, I was talking with my wife, I'm going into a place where I'm out of the public eye largely. I'll show up on my own blog or whatever, and I'll guest on your guys' podcast. But for a long time now, I'm going to be busy doing whatever the hell it is I'm doing over at EA, and I'm not going to be in that public eye, and you kind of get used to having fans, and that's sort of something that's like, wow, I'm not going to kind of get this constant ego stroke all the time, and so that's something to really be grateful for. And to get that sort of feedback at your job. I mean, anybody listening here, imagine you're at whatever it is you do for a living and someone is going like, you're awesome all the time. It's an incredible experience. So for that, I feel very lucky to have had that over the years at Ziff Davis. and I'm going to miss it, and I'm also going to miss just sort of the ability to speak about whatever it is I want, whether it's gaming or whatever, and have people like actually give a shit and not go like.
Well, and you've also always been a very unedited guy, so you might be a little more edited now. You know?
Well, certainly I'm going to be
Filtered Jeff Green.
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, we don't have to mince words about that. I mean,
we're going to miss your live blogs.
Yeah, I won't be doing any more EA live blogs, I don't think. Yeah, I will say that I can say now that as I went through this interview process, and they liked me, right away at EA, and when I had a good time in all the interviews. At one point, I was sort of up for a PR job, which I did feel very. I had mixed feelings about it, and I had people there at EA saying like, "Well, why would you want to do this? All you ever do is like call bullshit."
Are you a good liar?
Yeah, I can be. Yeah.
Have you read his stuff?
Exactly. But there was a point at which I was up for a PR job there, and I had really mixed feelings about it. Like, part of me was at home going like, "Oh God, what the fuck would I do on this?" But then, like, suddenly, mysteriously, I was like off the table for that job, like sort of overnight, and I thought like, you know what? They must have Googled me, and they saw that live blog.
Like, no.
Like, oh shit, it's this asshole.
Yeah.
Well, you've been a statesman of games journalism, and I think you've set the bar for all of us very, very high.
You're too kind.
For what we need. No, I'm not. Thank you, but dude, you've well earned it. So for everything you've done over the last 12 years in the game group,
I love you, Dad.
I love you guys too. Gonna miss OneUp a lot, and to the community out there, I'll be around. I'll guest on your podcasts, and I'll be around.
Stole the virtue of SimFrog or whatever it is you're working on.
Exactly. I'll put in little OneUp memes. I'll sneak them into the game somehow.
Nice.
So.
All right, folks, that is it. Thank you for joining me on my birthday, and Jeff Green on his, I guess, final One Up Yours. You'll be around for GFW Radio next week. What day will that go up?
Wednesday.
So that's next Wednesday, and I have no idea.
It's going to be a star-studded affair.
Final epic rodeo.
It will be an epic rodeo. Until then, check us out at boards.oneup.com. For Garnet, or I guess I am Garnet, for Shane, Andrew, John, Big Fun, this is Garnet. We are Ghosts.
You just called Jeff John.
Oh, sorry, Jeff, John.
Yeah, nice knowing you, Jimmy. Later.
Whoever the fuck you are.
Damn it, the weekend's been confirmed. Get the hell out of here. We're Ghost.
You guys want some candy? Yeah. It's our candy. We got oranges. It's like a parade. Star Mints and butterscotch. Welcome to the One Up Yours show live at PAX. I'm Garnet Lee. Special guest star Luke Smith right here. Luke Smith. And of course, Shane Bettenhausen and John Davison. My God. And I think there are more people here this year than last year, which is scary. That is kind of amazing, isn't it?
I think you remarked before the show started that not just more people are here, you said there are more chicks here. I think it's important to re-point that out.
Some backstage Betty's here for you, Luke.
I'm tired and washed up, dude. I'm out the game.
We'll be back right over there on that corner of the stage. Are you pointing out a backstage Betty? Oh. And let's not forget Andrew DJ Fist Skipper right there. That's a man. He has no wheels of steel, but he's still the man. Executive producer for the show. Thank you, Andrew, for how long have we been doing this? Long time. 13 years. It's amazing. We've also got David Big Fun Ellis videotaping this camera. All right, so Shane and I walked around the floor today.
Hey, wait a second. Did you even introduce John? Or was I like not paying attention?
Yes, I did. He rolled John into John and my introduction.
Why didn't they each get their own?
We come as a pack because we're sharing.
And by that he means they're sharing water. Is that the Shakespearean way of sharing water?
What is that? Like, I don't even know what
the human way of sharing water.
Like,
I think what he meant is they're swap and spit. grab one of the strawberries. You'll be fine. Oh, look, she brought you more water to share.
So we were walking around the show floor, Garnet,
and
then you fell ill and had to leave.
Oh, man, I'll tell you. By the way, the Cheesecake Factory. Danny, by the way, Madeira chicken was like the death of me. What is in that thing? What? You're sick. So that was bad, wasn't it? Dude, it killed me. Would you like to know what'll solve it? 2 double bourbons and soda.
All right. Garnet, as interesting as your intestinal problems are,
And they are.
we should talk about the games we saw. So the big thing that was on the show floor that I was surprised to see was the Conduit for Wii, which is by High Voltage. It's a first-person shooter.
Right. So how badly are High Voltage shitting their pants right now to be all of a sudden the guys who are the Nintendo saviors?
Well, I mean, it is a core game. It's a first-person shooter. Nintendo's showing it in their booth. It's the first time anyone's seen it live, and I think it looks pretty good for Wii. I really do.
Because the Wii is known for its shooters. I mean, it's done really well with those so far. It's been excellent.
Well, they can't have shooters?
No, I'm saying they can have shooters, but they did not look derivative. And by the way, is the core audience for the Wii really looking for shooters? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. Have anybody here? Have you played the Conduit? Do you see it here? What do you guys? Anybody into it? No. Thumbs down.
All right, hold on.
Thumbs down.
Downs. Ups.
That guy likes it.
Oh, wait. And the scary part is the rest of them are all no freaking opinion.
How many people are completely indifferent?
Excellent. We have a job for you, Zip Davis.
Maybe PAX attendees aren't Wii fans. Could be.
Are you guys Wii fans? Yeah, right? Come on. Since when was Nintendo about like space aliens with growing guns of look organic and laser beams and what the hell is all that crap? What? Metroid. Yeah. Metroid had character, dude. Metroid had character and style and art design.
Dude,
Come on.
To me, the Conduit looks like Metroid Prime meets Resistance meets Perfect Dark. And, it's not original, but hey, there's nothing else like it on Wii. Leave it alone.
It's not original, but it's on the Wii. That makes it okay.
Can we talk about something me and Luke?
Luke, it's like you never left.
It's I don't have anything to say about that. My Wii's woefully underused, and by underused I mean it's like not even white anymore. It's just covered in dust, and
actually,
it's on its way to the closet, and it needs to stay there.
Actually, Luke, on a really famous message board, people said that this Conduit game looked better than Halo 3.
That's cool. That's entitled to their opinions. That's fine. They
A couple of times.
You guys know Shane's handle on this famous message board? You guys ever want to search the post, find it? Here, just talk to me after class. I'll tell you who the man God is. I ain't got no problems with it.
And by the way, he'd also like some help with getting that Wii back in action.
No, I want it collecting dust just like it is. Are you doing like another bad double entendre, like water swapped, or what was that earlier? I forgot.
Look, just drink your plum wine.
Well, actually, Luke, I know you're a big fan of Xbox 360. I also saw the XNA games, some real XNA games here, and they're actually looking really good. I saw a game called Coliseum. The graphics look insane for an XNA game, so it's cool to see the fruits of that initiative finally coming through. So if Kathleen Sanders is here, your games look good. I don't know where she's here.
I think that's going to be the big sleeper is that people will be very surprised about the stuff that's coming out of the XNA Lounge. I mean, that's where that garage development thing is really going to catch on. It's even more than PlayStation Network. It's very much the grassroots. A couple of 3 guys can put together a game and make something of it.
Although here at the show floor, you can actually see a couple of guys getting together to make a Little Big Planet level, which is on a huge TV. It looks awesome. Like, if you haven't played that yet, go play it.
Look, I mean, you guys all know that I am Little Big Planet's bitch, right? I mean,
you haven't been playing it around the office. We've had it, dude. You haven't even played my level yet.
Dude, I was playing it before you were playing it.
It's more finished thanks to David Ellis. David Ellis helped me finish it better. Right?
So what do we leave out now?
Well, I saw Iron Chef.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yes, Iron Chef.
If you haven't already played enough slicing and chopping cooking games on Wii, this one has a scary Maribatali, a Capcora, and a really terrifying Alton Brown head. Looks like Max Headroom.
It's more than that. It's like he has like all of a sudden has spiky hair and all kind of crazy crap. I'm not sure about that.
What are you gonna do?
Make a game. Like, wait a minute. So if you actually want to break down that game for a second, isn't the thing about Iron Chef that they're all competing under time? Does time work into that game? Because all I saw was a game that looked like Cooking Mama.
It's like cooking marmar. Yeah.
Marmar.
But actually, the show floor, there are tons of games there. We've seen a lot of them. But if you haven't played Rock Band 2 or Guitar Hero on Tour, they have amazing setups, like serious hardcore setups that are worth playing here.
Definitely. I think that what's going to happen here is so far, and I was walking out here for a minute ago, and everyone was like, Rock Band 2 way better than Guitar Hero. It's just, Guitar Hero is now the copycatter, right? Guitar Hero is like, everybody's down on. Why are you guys down on Guitar Hero? Why does it suck? I mean, change developers. Do you really give a damn who develops your game if you like the game? If you like the game, a lot of people like Tony Hawk. I'm even so. I love my Dreamcast. Okay, so I have another question here. How bad really is Brett Ratner? Because obviously I don't keep up with the movie world enough, but evidently, there's a lot of spite for this guy.
You missed X-Men 3 somehow? I mean, really? That was feces being rubbed into your eyes. Like the heroes of your childhood are being sexed on spikes. It's a disaster. I had to watch it on a plane. I wanted the plane to fucking crash. It's terrible. I can talk about movies.
Awesome.
Hey, Luke, can you talk about the Halo movie?
There's no Halo movie.
Surprise. Anyway, so Brett Ratner is going to make a
Sounds
guitar
amazing. Sounds
Guitar
like
Hero
the
movie.
story of a small town boy. He just overcomes triumph. It's a success story.
I think
that's at least $40 million.
We had this. Garnet, we had this discussion earlier. I think this movie can be good. It's basically just The Wizard, but remade. I mean, really, that is what this movie is going to be.
How did you get to The Wizard?
Wait, no, you really just said that? You actually, are you being real shame? Or are you being, fake shame?
I'm going to say
this really stupid
the
thing
plot,
I get upset.
No, the plot of the Guitar Hero movie is a bunch of ragtag group of kids get on a road trip.
So it's the Sandlot with instruments.
Yeah.
Awesome. That sounds sweet. Again.
Actually, speaking of against and for, Luke, I heard you were officially for a certain game called Too Human.
Hey, I've been playing a ton of it. Mountains of it. I'm a loot whore. Whatever. I'm a huge loot whore. I get tons of loot. You must just not ruin your dude properly. I'm unlocking charms, ruining up, got a defender, got a berserker, got a champion.
And now you know why that Wii is collecting dust.
Oh.
4.
He's 4. Really is.
Really? We're not, you know what?
The only way I'm playing it is co-op, though. I haven't played it alone.
Okay, what do you guys who are here think? No more Too Human talk, right? Done. So there you go.
Unless Dennis is here and wants to come up.
I would
All right, so he's not.
I would love that. Is he here? Dennis?
We're all looking around now.
Andrew, that's where you
Go
put
back to talking about
the
Nintendo games
crickets
I don't care about.
Foley sounds in, right? That's where the crickets go. So what do you think? We should pull some of our friends up here and embarrass them and humiliate them in front of all these people. So let's start with Brad, because I think. Oh yeah, no, Brad, you're first. Oh come on, Brad Shoemaker.
Brad Shoemaker of Giant Bomb, and
You'll be.
And Brad, correct me if I'm wrong, but you have a tour, some sort of reunion tour tomorrow, right?
Something like that.
Is that here at this
stage? We haven't really figured out yet what it is.
Well, we didn't figure out what this was until about
So you're just
15 minutes ago.
Yeah, we got 24 hours.
Is there any way I can get headphones just so I can hear his voice in my head? It's blowing my mind.
His voice has
First 5 minutes
it's
are
a
free.
soothing sound.
After that, it's going to cost you.
Brad and I will be doing a show later.
That sounds like a dude trying to sound like a dude.
Who sounds like a dude?
No, it's just a dude sounding like a dude. No third dude.
You lost my dudes.
No third dude.
So, Brad, did you walk around the show today?
Yeah, a little bit.
All right, so give us a hit.
I didn't play anything.
That's where the state of video game journalism is today, folks. I didn't play anything.
Those
All right.
are your words, right?
It's all about snap judgment. What? It's all about snap judgments now.
Oh, it's all about snap
First
judgments.
impressions are everything.
All right, you failed. Get out of here. Sean Elliott, you're up next. Oh, yeah, dude. Sean, bring it, dude. Come on. You are next on the parade.
And I know for a fact that Sean Elliott has something to talk about because he went to Valve to play Left 4 Dead just the other day.
And if you saw, we had a news story up. Dude, I have to say, like, along with the dedicated servers, there's a lot of good news coming for 360 gamers on Left 4 Dead.
There's some good news about Left 4 Dead. Sorry, you put me on the spot. Yeah, the first thing that impressed me about the game, and this is coming from, diehard PC player, is that it was fun to play on Xbox 360 and on that controller. The not auto aim, almost got you. The aim assist. The aim assist is actually so unobtrusive that you're not even really aware of it. You just feel like you're actually effective with the what's it called? Sorry, I'm nervous. There's a lot of controller.
The dual analogs.
Okay, hold on a second. Everybody, you guys love Sean? Yeah! All right. You got nothing to be worried about, dude.
So what they've also done is they've added a quick 180 snap turn with the right bumper button, and that's because the zombies are always, the AI director in the game is causing the zombies to come in at different access points every single time you play, so that, when you load it up again, and there are only 4 campaigns, it's not like, here's where you get your grenade out, and you go first because there's going to be 5 zombies around this corner, 2 over here that come out of the train. It's always different, but you need to be able to turn around immediately and shoot something behind you. So they've added this button, and that seems to be working well also.
So you guys want to know what this actually looks like when we try to get stories out to you? So Sean was at Valve yesterday playing this stuff. David was with him. He's aiming me stuff last night while I'm sitting in the office trying to write up the news story to explain all this stuff. And I'm like, so can you play it split screen? And if you play it split screen, can you go online? And how does that work out? And he's like sending me back all this stuff. And so I'm talking to David on AIM, who's talking to Sean, who's in the room, and they're like giving me the whole scoop. It's a lot of work.
I had to give you shit for one thing though, and this is inevitable because totally Chinese whispers last night from the hotel room of like me telling David something and him telling you something. But you're saying that the game might be a sleeper hit, but for me it was interesting. When you go on the floor here, there's a line that wraps around that box. And I mean, we're not everyone in the giant market. We're all enthusiasts here, right? But I mean, that doesn't seem like anyone was asleep here, certainly.
But I think if you look at it as strictly as a 360 game, where it's going up against Gears, and then if you look in the bigger console arena where it's going to be up against Resistance 2, there's a lot of games that are getting that super high AAA, already pre-assumed that it's going to be a AAA title, and Left 4 Dead hasn't been lumped into that, despite the fact that it's a Valve game.
I think people will catch on to it quickly. Every time you see video of this game in action, you're like, it's zombies running at you from every angle. If you jump on top of a bus and try to escape, and they're going to clamber up and find some way to get you. There's a whole element of the game that people haven't even needed to sell it with. Basically, when you see this game, you just see zombies running. But then playing from the infected side adds a whole other element. And for example, would be like Luke, you and I were playing. I could be the smoker, and you have this enormous, like, prehensile tongue, and you catch someone with it, and then other players playing a boomer. That's the big fat guy that explodes in, this vial that attracts more zombies. So if I, like, snag someone, and then you go up and blow up on him, then all the rest of the zombies are going to get him, and you can actually prey on the weak player. You can isolate him in the way that you would in normal multiplayer. You know someone's name, you're like, let's all get this guy. He sucks. You can totally do it in that game.
So in the shooter, Shane.
In this case, yeah. Shane, I want to see Shane play a first-person shooter one day.
I thought he was going to play Bioshock. Was it good?
It's still in my pile of shame.
Your pile of shame? I know. It was really easy. It was kind of laid in front of me.
It's a big pile.
Why did you not play Bioshock, by the way?
I had other games. It's on my list.
Oh, I know. You were waiting for the PS3 version.
That comes out soon.
All right, Sean, what else? You want to hit anything else?
This might get me in trouble. I played Resistance 2, and the game seems pretty cool. But I just had this hard time with the dual analogs playing first-person shooters on that system. And I mean, I've heard people explain it in various ways, but you agree? And the first thing I wanted to do was play it with an Xbox controller with a mouse so that I could really get a sense for how the game was put together and designed, because it was so immediate. I'm playing it, and it's like, these controls suck. But I mean, not that they were designed poorly than anything else, but just something about those analog sticks. I don't like it.
So what do you not? Is it the center thing? Because I think the most common complaint is that it doesn't have enough dead space in the center of the stick.
I feel really distanced from it for some reason. I mean, I'm still trying to find a way to articulate exactly what the experience is. I mean, where I'm really zoomed in with a shooter on a PC because there's total accuracy, right?
Right.
And more, I feel like this visceral sense of I'm doing this and I'm putting input in and it's coming out of the game with a 360 controller. And this is the one where I just think the point is I shouldn't really be aware of the interface as much as I am, and I'm constantly aware. It might change if that were my only platform, and I assume if the people here were like, what the hell is this guy talking about? It's like, if you only play on a PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3 shooters, it probably doesn't make any difference, because that's what you're accustomed to.
You know, Sean, I forget what it's called, but there's actually a third-party peripheral for PS3. It's like a mouse attached to a mouse pad with buttons on it. I forget what it's called. It came out for Resistance, and it's like a mouse and keyboard. You might try it.
Those only work so far because you really
might
have to
try it.
design the game for, I think, that speed. Like, this was the case.
Well, it was designed around Resistance once. I imagine it works pretty well with Resistance 2.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Brian's probably here somewhere, right?
Somewhere.
Wait. Is
Brian's
Brian
here somewhere.
Brian Intihar, are you out
The
there?
Fragile Eagles landed somewhere on here.
He's probably demoing that Resistance 2 game. Whatever. Like, that's more important than this.
Did any of you guys try Legendary, the box?
The game. Legendary, the box, the game.
It's no longer the box, okay? It's just Legendary.
I know
Did you guys try it?
I know Matt Leone's a big fan.
So that's a no? I don't know. It seems like it might be promising. I played for just like a half second. I meant to go back, but there was like a... Well, the reason being, this is totally new to me, right? When there's like a big line of people and you get your turn, I feel guilty the whole time. You look behind me like I was like, come on, man, it's my turn. So I let him have his turn.
Don't feel so guilty about it. Just rep it. Say,
Yeah,
look,
you're Sean Elliott.
do you know who the fuck I am?
But that's what this is what's so cool about PAX is like there's no... I mean, we have our press shows and stuff, and here we're just like the same as everyone else. I tried to get into the keynote, waited in the whole line. Anyone else raise your hand if you did the same thing. You waited for an hour, and the line snakes, and it's like, getting there. 10 people in front of me, they closed the door, and I was like, bye.
Ouch.
Bum, 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 bum.
But that's like, why should I be any different, you know? So.
All right. Yeah, we're going to keep moving.
All right.
What else you want to get in? You want to get anything else before I, like, embarrass the crap out of Danny and Alex and Jeff? Because they're... don't sit there and freaking nod your head like that.
Let's get them over here.
Get up.
I want to hear more about that dude's intestines. I know what's up. I'm aware.
Who do I need to grab? Who's coming?
Bad. It's serious stuff in there.
Who's next? Because I got a shirt from nowhere when they come up.
TRS. But hang that shirt on Jeff. Jeff Kanata does all of the video game stuff on the Totally Rad Show, along with Alex and Danny. These guys have been fans. Like these guys are so freaking nice to me. It is amazing, and I cannot tell you how much I respect them. So
put it on, man.
Wait. Alex, Danny, get the hell up.
Put that
Come
shirt
on.
on.
Like what? You guys never seen a camera before? Christ.
What is this podcast thing you speak of?
Oh, it's a mystery. Can you handle stick mics?
Yeah.
Right here. They can handle one mic, Luke. You can just
Three
snipe
dudes
them.
on one?
3 dudes on one, yeah.
Three girls, one mic.
Like you've never seen that before.
We'll do one word at a time for our answers.
Okay, so you guys walk around the floor.
6.
Give me the hit.
We played Schizoid.
Oh, okay. Cool. Good work. All right. Yeah, there you go.
Really fun game.
And
multiplayer.
The game's already out.
How come? I want to know.
I'm just saying, the game's already out, dude.
It's out. Well, hey, if I'm sitting here, then I'm going to talk about another game that's already out because I have a bone to pick with you people.
Oh shit, he's going to talk about Braid.
Me with that.
Who liked Braid? They're not cheering for you, Garnet.
No, Alex is with me. That's all that matters.
They're always cheering for Garnet.
Yeah, well.
No, go ahead and tell me. How good is it?
Very, very good. How come John hasn't spoken? I love John.
I got here like 5 minutes ago. I haven't played anything.
I think the bigger problem was he didn't get to drink before we came.
Yeah, I haven't had a drink. I played Spore on the way here. I could talk about that.
Talk about it.
And Spore Creatures. Have you played Spore Creatures?
You mean Pokemon?
It's Pokemon.
I
thought it was going to be the Creatures
Pokemon.
creator, but it's Pokemon. With Parappa the Rapper graphics.
I hear it's a little disappointing.
Okay, I'm buying it.
I hear it's slightly disappointing, actually.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of Pokemon. I think you would like it.
All right.
You went on the review though, weren't you?
Yeah. I'm more curious about Real Spore.
Real Spore is going to suck down a lot of your time. I played it on the plane, and people would sort of like raining over. And
so, what does your monster look like? What is your?
At the moment, he's called Spiky. He's covered in spikes.
Is he a spiky phallus?
He has a tendency towards that direction.
Dodge.
Hey, Will Wright
There's no way to compensate.
Will Wright encourages it. He said to the Associated Press that that he admires people's creativity in making enormous schlong-shaped monsters.
So he must be in love with Sharky stuff.
I think Sharky's was the example that was held up. The big pink one with the leaves growing out as pubes. That one was like... And the eye on the end of the tentacle that was like bobbing around. I wasn't really sure what he was going for with that.
The serpent is subtle. It really is.
Really, Spore? Really? Really?
Spore! Awesome.
Really?
Spore.
It's like, you guys have all heard me say this, so I'm going to still say it in front of you guys. I think Spore is a wonderful technology accomplishment.
Garnet doesn't like Braid. Doesn't like Spore.
Oh, we're going to go back to that.
Hasn't played Little Big Planet, but we'll talk about it at great length.
I like games that are fun.
The Sims is a fad, said Garnet.
What about you guys were talking to the crowd before the show started, and they seemed to really want to talk about Castle Crashers.
They did want to talk about Castle Crashers. Holy shit. Castle Crashers was great last year when it worked.
I heard that game is just called Crashed. Like, Crash your Xbox 360.
It's a game that is worth suffering through all the crashes for.
Oh, so it's like Braid, worth suffering through.
It's a... Yeah. So
I'll meet you later, Alex.
Crashers with me. I played until about 3 o'clock in the morning the night before last.
I played it with Mark McDonald and had to get up early in the morning to play with him.
And that was because it was crashing,
right?
Yeah,
and you had to start over.
Yeah, absolutely. We had no crash issues. We were just the chosen ones.
Were you on PartnerNet?
No, it was unreleased.
Yeah.
I bought it with real money.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know.
HEC?
Space bucks.
Yeah.
Hard-earned cash?
Yeah, seriously.
So is it as like ass-achingly hard as Alien Hominid? Well, I'm not tried it yet. I mean, Alien Hominid...
If you play by yourself, it is ass-achingly hard. But it's a game that's not made for you to play by yourself.
Oh.
It's a game for multiple people.
But sometimes when you try to play it with others as it's intended, it doesn't seem to work.
Unfortunately, that is the case. We had many frustrated...
I stopped. I did. I was like, this is fun. I'm out of here.
Wait, hold on. The way this technology works is the microphone records your voice.
Hello. Maybe Alex, he should talk about Braid.
Braid.
No, you gotta keep the shirt. The shirt is yours.
Dude, you are Mr. Shirt. What is this? I don't even know. Shane Tart. So,
All right, hold on.
First off,
Oh, wow. Garnet quit.
I'm just going to have this sort of be like a Red
Not
Lobster.
his show anymore.
Like a Red Lobster bib.
And Shane, you're the only one left.
Dude, what happened?
I know why Garnet left. He's got delusions of rock star
Look
now.
at you.
Sing for us, Garnet.
I swear to everybody up here, we came here as fanboys. We just wanted to watch the show. All of a sudden, I'm sitting in Garnet's seat.
It really is yours.
What's it feel? Is it warm?
You're a
What's it like?
I just love that Dan is still standing creepily behind me.
This is my kind of show.
So, Alex, what did you like about
Can I
Braid?
get some water? You know, to me, it was
Pretentious?
it was, it just, to me, it just didn't, yeah, I know. Get ready, Jeff.
It looked like a British game from 1991.
How many levels did you play, Shane? How many levels did you play?
I played 1,000.
One.
I went to 1,000. To me, it just wasn't, I think I got screwed up because it kept getting called a puzzle game to me, and
It is a puzzle game.
It is not a puzzle game.
There are jigsaw,
How is it not a puzzle game?
There are jigsaw puzzles.
Dude, a jigsaw puzzle does not equal puzzle game. That's like saying you jump down a tube, so it's a plumbing game. It is not a plumbing game. That is a platformer. So, and that's semantics, whatever. And so for me, I got really confused because I was ready to experience like mind games, like brain games from HBO. You know, that's what I wanted. Word puzzles, like...
That costs more than $14.
You wanted like a book that you can buy at the airport.
That's exactly. I was looking for a Sudoku book.
Says the guy wearing a bib.
Hey, my bib fell. I got stuff on me. No, so to me it was just I didn't get into it. I mean, it was fun. The times that I was having, I was like, oh, this is a cool, cute little platformer. But I just didn't think it did anything that really transcended, at least for me. Now, I get that it's some sort of mind screw puzzle thing that you end up, I don't know, solving world hunger.
Every person that I've talked to that didn't like the game didn't play the game.
If you don't like a game, you stop playing the game. You can't be a good game because if you force yourself to play this crappy-ass game that you're not enjoying, you will maybe like the outcome. Screw you.
Yes! I'm not
so
going
wait for it. That's
and the crowd erupts in tepid applause.
I'll take tepid.
But Alex, if your girlfriend dumped you and you made a hipster homage to Mario Brothers, you'd want people to like it too.
I agree. Yeah, if I made this game, it would have been genius. I mean, even as is, I would have been like, it's the best thing I've ever done.
Fucking amazing. You should buy it for $15.
Yes. Not Danny TikTok.
You guys ready to take some questions? No, wait.
You're like
what Danny's in.
You're like Donahue.
No, wait. You guys got to stay in. Stay in. We need panel members. Andrew Pfister to the mic.
Andrew. Oh, good.
All right. You guys, you have.
He is the heart and soul of the entire One Up Radio network. And he's the guy who's producing these podcasts for you. Thank you, Shane.
He said thank you, Shane. You have 35 minutes right here. Come up, because you got to come up here to get your voice heard. Everybody come up here. So who is this?
Orderly line, please.
My name's Jason, and I just had a quick question for you all. The panel right before this was so you want to pitch a game design, and in your interactions with developers, producers, things like that, have you guys ever pitched game design to them in your interviews? If so, what was that game design? If not, what would be the one game design you could pitch to them, and who would be the developer?
Rule number one again.
I've never pitched a game
Don't pitch
design.
your idea to the developer.
Yeah,
Seriously.
Luke
No,
real
real
talk.
talk.
See what he did there?
Seriously.
I've never pitched a game. I did end up playing on the soundtrack to one once.
Which game?
I don't know if it came out here. It was a game called Normality.
That came out, yeah.
It came out. All the guitar, that was me.
Are you serious?
Really?
Yeah. Whoa.
So I was interviewing the guy, and he was talking about how the dude in the game was like a guitarist, and we started talking about playing guitar, and he goes, "You wanna lay down some licks, man?" And except he said it with a Sheffield accent, so it was sort of Northern English, sort of, you know. And so yeah, all that really bad guitar from a game 12 years ago is me.
Wow. Sweet. Thanks, man.
All right, tell us who you are and what's your question? My name is Chu. I come all the way from Nigeria. So you guys have fans there? Hey. Who knew? By the way, I'm not pissed about Resident Evil 5, by the way.
Blow the lights out.
It just got sexy. Oh, it's not sexy anymore.
I'm a big rock band fan, and I was wondering, do you guys think if the music game thing right now, do you think it's just a phase for this generation, like how platformers were back then, or do you think it's going to continue? And if it does, what do you think can take it to the next level, apart from like, album, DLC, and stuff like that?
Dude, Sessler, get up here, bro.
Sorry, you got Miley on stage.
We got Adam Sessler, but we should answer this question about music games.
Yeah, so we'll do the music game question real quick. And Adam, thanks for coming, man. I know you just finished shooting, so
Yeah.
I was bored.
I mean, I don't think anyone thinks these games are a fad, but I would hope that we've only seen a little bit of what they can do, because like they've gotten so much better in just 3 years. And I would like to see, more instruments, more music, a store like iTunes,
more money,
camera support. I'd like
camera
to see,
support,
like so you can make videos and like great poses. I don't know. I'm on a music kick today. I don't know what's going on.
And I like the music creation stuff they're putting in Guitar Hero on tour, but it's a little too complicated. I'd like to see that more easy to use. It's really complex.
More easy to use, not more complex.
Yeah.
You would like
because the
Superstar.
argument that Harmonix made was that they were going to make a serious music creation tool.
Well, maybe for musicians, but just for the layman, it has to be easy.
That sounds like work.
You're a musician, you freaking tell me. So, Adam, what did you see at the show today? What hit?
Actually, I was around doing so many interviews with panelists and people like that. I only saw a handful of games, but I did sit around and just play Fallout 3 for about a good 25 minutes. So that game is just awesome.
So what do you like about Fallout 3? Because it's not the game that it used to be. It's not the isometric. It's not the tactical strategy game.
Well, okay, I really like the Morrowind games. I mean, Oblivion, Elder Scrolls, and I've always liked Mad Max and everything like that. And the whole idea that I get to actually really feel like I'm in a living, breathing version of the apocalypse without having to actually be there in the apocalypse. It's just, I remember the first time I saw a demo about it, I was 2 years ago. And they brought the character into Megaton, and that's that first big kind of town with the bomb in the middle. It's this crater, and everyone in the room just kind of gasped because we all thought at the same time, it's Bartertown, and I get to play in it, and it was just so exciting.
It totally works, doesn't it?
It completely works. I love that game.
You know, I had someone tell me not if you were the left. Never mind. Anyway, so we got another question. Who are you, man?
I'm Josh, and here's Evil Avatar. I just wanted to ask, why isn't Phil here?
Phil is in
Minnesota.
Yeah, he was in Germany, and he came back all jet lagged and tired. And he really wishes he could be here because he's a big fan.
I was in Germany.
You were in Germany. What did you do in
That's all I'm
Germany?
going to say.
I'm going to call Phil.
And I'm jet lagged and tired, really. I'm wearing my butt for a hat right now, so if I say something strange, just forgive me.
Phil's fired. You convinced me. Yeah, we're getting rid of him now. He's a slacker. All right, so I'll put you on the spot then, Adam. What was your game of the show at Leipzig?
Leipzig. Well, there's very little that was actually so new at Leipzig that I hadn't seen at E3. There's one thing I missed at E3 that was being shown behind closed doors, and due to the nature of our show, it's behind closed doors. We can't put it on TV, so it has a sort of secondary importance. Heavy Rain out of Sony. This game, I kind of like Indigo Prophecy or Fahrenheit, as it was known in Europe, but they've taken that and they made something that really, I'm a believer. And I used to say you cannot tell good stories in games, and now I'm just eating crow on that one.
Wait, how did you only kind of like Fahrenheit?
I wanted to be more.
You can like it up to the last 10 minutes.
Wait, the last 10 minutes we just disregard. That never happened.
That's kind of ruining it.
It's like the last season of X-Files. It never happened. The last 3 seasons of X-Files.
Did those include the movies?
The last season of Buffy. Yeah. Okay, we good there? Last season of Buffy. Like David Gill, he knows how to really craft those stories.
Seriously?
It was awesome,
You watched Buffy?
It's awesome. Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, trust me. I bet
I want to see
70% of the people in this room.
I want to see more. No, I just want to see you be really excited about Sarah Michelle Gellar right now.
Okay, she's freaking A, she's hot. B, she was terribly cool, and she's spiked. So,
You kind of ran
Next
out
question,
of
please.
Next question.
Next. What about it, Buffy?
What do you think?
Firefly.
My goddamn show.
One of mine.
I'm sitting in your seat. You are now going to leave, which means you're facing all kinds of ridicule.
Question, please.
Question for us.
Okay, so I just want to hit the people first before I hit the main question. Sessler, thank you for coming up all the years and being a complete doofus and with a straight face.
I like that. That's the tagline. Complete doofus, straight face.
Yeah. Luke Smith, you were the heart and soul of the show. You're the only one to battle cheap shot Shane Bettenhausen. And then you left!
Yeah, betrayed, murder. Yeah, I'm your Vader, bitch. Andrew, thank you so much for keeping the podcast levels okay, because I'm listening to him with...
Just okay?
Well, I'm listening to him at work in a construction yard, and nothing more than I hate than fucking Shane going, bleh! And then
I do that a lot.
That's how I feel. And then my ears pop out. I'm like, God damn it. Shane. John. You guys should hire this guy. I like him. John, you are a cool British person. I hope your children are all soccer hooligans. You represent an entire country. Amazing. Right now.
You better bring it home strong.
All right. Garnet Lee. Has anyone ever told you that you sound like Laszlo from GTA?
Yes. Seriously though, since this is called the One Up Yours podcast, when are we going to get a little more involvement from the community of us?
You're asking questions right now. You didn't have questions, you said comments, dude. What more do you want?
Kind of sounds like Shane. Anyway. Why do you hate Sonic?
You hate Sonic?
Yeah, why Sonic?
Sonic the Hedgehog?
Yeah.
You're supposed to be a
Sonic
Sega fan. Next!
Sonic? Dude.
Seriously.
You got a last
take that
hit?
shit away. Get a new dude. We talk about Shenmue 2 in a second.
Good luck.
Get the fuck out of here. Seriously.
Good luck on your Cream the Rabbit fan art. All right, next up we have...
Gary, but first, pardon the voice. I sound like Mickey Mouse.
Wow.
Yeah. But I was just wondering about Rock Band and Guitar Hero set list, because I personally prefer Rock Band, but
As
Guitar
do I.
Hero, but Guitar Hero has a better Billy Idol song.
Okay, so you guys, Rock Band 2, Guitar Hero, fight!
Is one of them at Pinkerton by Weezer? Because otherwise I don't care.
I'm on the side of Rock Band 2. It's a more eclectic mix. There's some really great shit. Chinese Democracy, you can't say anything but that.
Which Billy Idol song is on which game? I'm forgetting. One of them has White Wedding, one of them has Rebel Yell. Which one has which?
Guitar Hero has Rebel Yell, which
White
is
Wedding
the winner.
so much better.
What? Wait. What?
Oh.
With a Rebel Yell.
I'll say too.
You know, back when I actually really fancy myself becoming Billy Idol, and I do this all the time, and just, you know, there's just something nastier and like kind of mean-spirited rock and roll in White Wedding. You know, Rebel Yell, everyone. Anyway,
that's a point for who gets the point? I don't.
Hey, Garnet, if that question had been asked to Wired's Chris Kohler, you know what his answer would have been? Rock Revolution. What? For real? What?
Yes.
Oil.
Really?
Hi, everyone. I do have a question for you guys, but first I have a bone to pick with you.
Who doesn't?
There's a line for that,
I didn't know
too,
she was your wife. I'm sorry.
This is Mom. You would have been the only person to touch that. No, okay.
Amanda was sneaky, eyes wide shut shit.
Let's restart the
I want you to
question.
put a mask on and fuck her. He's gonna watch for the business.
Please rephrase the question.
I do have a question, but first, last year I came to this show, called you all man gods. I was driving home, and then you came to my hometown of Edmonton, Alberta, and called it a complete shithole.
I remember that. He did.
Yeah, okay. For no reason other than you went to a really shitty bar in a really shitty part of town. Now, I did fuck you.
I like this guy.
He liked his wife, too, remember?
I did bring a bottle of red scotch for you, but it got broken on the way here. So, if you are at the GameWorks thing, I will buy you a drink as a peace offering.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know, we will be tomorrow night, 9:30 p.m. at GameWorks, 21 and older.
Let's just walk through the dude's logic real quick.
Yeah,
Something just didn't make sense. One, you fucked his wife. Two, he was pissed at you because you didn't like his city. And now he's apologizing to you because you.
Wait a minute.
Like, what? Dude, Garnet can buy you a drink because he shit on your awesome town. Oilers for life.
Not everyone's a complete douchebag. There's a difference.
And more importantly, do you have a question?
All right, let's get to the question.
Yeah, what happened to Sonic?
Okay, no, I remember when God of War 2 came out, and I loved it. I was so hyped for it. I played it, put it down. 2 weeks later, I played it again, and I hated it. And I wanted to ask you guys, how do you guys keep yourselves from getting wrapped up in hype? And also, what games have there been for you guys that you played it, and then when you went back, you thought, oh, I was too hard in it, or I was too easy on it?
Okay, first of all, bring me a shirt because he asked the first good
Yeah,
question.
those are some good questions. Bring him a shirt. I mean, shirt guy. You know, in terms of hype,
definitely.
I mean, you know, we get to play games a lot earlier than you guys, so we're kind of the ones making some of the hype.
Why?
Kind of, a little bit. So we're the ones that are. It's hard for us to get caught up in it. Unless it's a big franchise, you're already excited about a game because you played the previous one, whatever. But like, you know, on a game that came out of nowhere, like Little Big Planet, like, you know, we saw it the first time as everybody else, and the hype just naturally grew. It's, you know, and it lived up to my expectations for that one.
I mean, I don't know if it's still like this for you guys, but back when I was running EGM, which was like 10 years ago, when the really big stuff came out, a lot of the guys on the team would actually fight to not review it. Because the circumstances for reviewing a game are kind of heinous, particularly around the holidays. And I mean, it gets kind of difficult when you've got like 15 games lined up, and something like Metal Gear, which you want to completely absorb. And it's like, okay, well, this is due by Friday, and you know, and you want to experience it. It's kind of difficult. So I can remember, I think it might have been John Riccardi, like really fighting to not do Metal Gear Solid 2 when it came out, because it was like I want to enjoy it on my own time. I think that, I mean, stepping away from it, it's been quite nice to just do one or two every now and then, because you can enjoy it properly.
When I was reviews editor at 1UP, I would do the same thing. I would try to avoid like the Zeldas and Metal Gears and things like that, because I just wanted to play them at home.
Yeah, I had to play not Metal Gear, but Mass Effect over a weekend. And that was about 20 hours a day. And pretty much I didn't really talk to my wife that entire time. She would just kind of walk out of the bedroom, look at me with my headphones on and go, and then just retreat back into the cave that was the bedroom. And as far as like, you know, regretting a review, I don't think I've ever fully regretted a review, but there are times where you play a game that is doing something that's very new and fresh and revolutionary, and that really stands out from some other elements of the game that are a little bit rough around the edges. And there are times where we've given perfect scores on X-Play where it's not saying the game is perfect, but there's so much in what is working right about this game that it is worth pursuing. But do not think that every single step of the way is just, some sort of Fabergé egg of interactive entertainment. So, those are my 2 cents.
All right, next up is
Tyler. I got questions for 2 of you. John, what would you rather be the next game you go on the Today Show for, Spore or Little Big Planet?
Ooh.
Has Meredith called you back yet?
And you want Meredith to be there?
How about that?
What was the second part?
How about that?
For Luke, it's been about a month and a half. When do we get to hear more about the Superintendent and the canceled announcement from Bungie?
Yeah, Luke.
I mean, that's a great question, and one that's not a question for me. It's a question for Microsoft.
Okay, so back to John Davis and Meredith.
I want to go back to that.
So,
giving you the eye.
How was coffee?
You turned out okay, John. That's what she said.
You turned out all right.
You had John, you were
coffee
with
afterwards,
Meredith?
right?
No, she gave me a hug. That was nice.
Oh, actually, when I was on The View one time, she patted me on the thigh.
Whoa.
You were on The
She
View?
told me that I was
on The
her
View.
hero.
I was on The View when Star Jones was on The View. I thought she was going to eat me.
All right, next up we have...
Franco? Hey, yeah, do you guys like being in the same theater where people have to stand in the back? Why are you guys here?
Because PAX put us here. This is simple. That was easy.
Well,
Nothing else?
We didn't think this many. We never thought this many people would come.
We will try to walk you to the back. If you're in the very back, stay around. We'll be here for a little bit.
According to our recent listener statistics, we only have 17 people listening to the show every week. So everyone's downloading it on Z Share or something.
Yeah. And by the way, all of us have moms, and that's at least 5 more listeners. So that means we only have 12 listeners.
Yeah, but Shane pissed off my mom, so that's down 1.
Okay, well, so we're up to 6. Oh, you have another one? Okay, quick.
Okay, cool.
Is this the good one?
Well, I tried to...
That was the first one, the prologue, and this is chapter 1?
Well, I tried to ask this question last year, but Luke, you had to save me. But with the One Up Yours and One Up Show, we have like such an eye into your guys' offices that like when someone leaves, like not only that you like the coworkers are sad, but like an actual community, heck, even a cult. But is it a good thing or a bad thing? Do you like the community so close?
Are you kidding me? I love that the community is so close. Why do you think I'm standing out here with you guys? Jesus.
That's
what it's all about. By the way, have you heard the name of the show? It's One Up Yours. Or maybe we should change the show to One Up Ours.
Well, but also, we tend to not lose track of our friends like Che and Jane and Luke.
And Luke and I left a year ago.
Yeah, John. So it's not, just see you later.
I'm still trying to heal.
So am I.
Oh, shit, I don't even work there.
I know, it hurts you bad.
Yeah. Why am I here?
That's a whole other existential question. We'll
Yes,
get to
it
later.
Hey, my name's Adam. I came all the way to Philadelphia to ask you guys. Recently, your ex-editor Dan Shu and Kristen Boyer started up a blog, and Shu's been writing a lot lately about editorial and people being manipulated by the companies that they cover. Do you think there's any way really to sort of split ourselves from this sort of divide that's like, as on your show, N Guy put it, the deal with the devil, or in his article?
I mean, the PR cycle controls all of video game journalism, basically, and if you try to break out of it, you get in trouble, and we try not to be beholden to that as much as we can. That's we're always often breaking embargoes by accident.
Yeah, we all look forward to the day when most of the advertising in the magazine and the sites is not video game related, so there's not that relationship there, but we don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon.
But the relationship between publishers, media, journalism, and the user, it's not just video games, it's all media outlets. You should definitely question everything you read and look at the ads that are on the site, and yeah, it's a little sketchy.
He has a follow-up.
I guess my only question to be do you have a bullshit filter?
I'm actually doing journalism as a major this year.
Do you have a bullshit filter?
No, probably not.
Why not? Why not? Wait a minute. Do you guys have bullshit filters? And you use them all the time, right? Like
It's a minus full.
All right. So just apply the bullshit filter, right?
At the same time, though, like, I respect all you guys because you guys try to stay objective, and Shu concentrated a lot on objectivity in his blog. And do you guys ever feel that, like, for example, Shane, you went to Kojima Productions, and essentially played through Metal Gear Solid 2 months or 1
Right,
month
and
before
that's the
everyone.
reason I wasn't on the review, just because people could cast dispersions on that and say that I was influenced, even though I wasn't. But I worked with Shu for 8 years, and he's the most morally upstanding guy I've ever known. And you definitely should question where some of these reviews are coming from and where previews. And like when I started out, there was no such thing as a negative preview, and at EGM we kind of invented that, and it really pissed off the entire PR world. And slowly everybody else started doing that too. But yeah, like 8 years ago, you would never read a negative preview of a game ever, and now you can. So like, there's more honesty, more transparency in the media now.
There was a lot of, it looks like it's going to be awesome. But I think the honesty
Stay tuned and find out. Maybe it'll be great.
It's interesting about the honesty thing. I think on one hand, there's the saying what it is that these guys are trying to pull. And I think Shu had mentioned the stuff with Ubisoft, and he'd mentioned the Prey review when that was kicking around. That was one of the infamous stories. And I mean, the flip side of that is there's a need to be honest on the media side as well, to say, to describe this stuff, and just to say, when we first got the Prey review code in, Garnet was on the review, and he came to me and he's like, they're hassling the shit out of me, what do I do? And it's like, don't review it. I mean, that's all you can do. If when it steps up to that level, when they're applying that amount of pressure, and we get it, I was getting calls and Garnet was getting calls. It's like, well, one of your competitors has said that they'll give it between 8 and 9 maybe, and one of our competitors hasn't said that, but it's just a tactic, and that story will turn into, oh, well, these guys were promised a 9, so that's why they got the exclusive. Bottom line, exclusive reviews are bullshit. Don't believe anything when it is on the cover of a magazine and it says exclusive review, because it was bull.
I mean, as I got to talk to Shu and other people like you guys over time, I was just apoplectic. I was almost kind of jealous. I'm like, why am I not getting pressure? Because, hold on a second, come on, just try me for a second, let's see what would happen. But no, obviously this does happen, and it's repellent, and I think it's that there are really good guys that are out there that just will not put up with that kind of bullshit. But also shame on the game industry to thinking that we're such tools that they can actually do that. I mean, it's really kind of embarrassing. And there are times where I actually think that because we're the newest form of entertainment, and that, look at us, we're not here in suits and ties. There's a sense that somehow we're more manipulable. We can be pushed around. And that's the part that really, really gets my ire. And so, there you go, guys.
All right, who do we have next?
How you doing, guys? My name's Raj. I've come all the way from Australia. Welcome. Thank you. What will really blow your mind is that I was sent here by a Mac publication that I'm working for. Wow. Go figure. So if anyone has anything beside the Blizzard stand that I can go and actually do some work for,
we'll check back with you.
You're like the Ponce de Leon of journalists.
They give me a camera and a video camera and say, go do this.
I think he's still back on Vasco da Gama.
But because I am here being paid by these guys, what I wanted to ask you is, with your iPhone and this whole talk about how being so powerful and this next generation of Apple gaming, I suppose you want to call it, do you realistically see this as being a step forward for Apple back into the gaming side of things?
Great question. What do you guys think? iPhone for real going to bring mobile gaming to North America?
Well, it depends on what you think. I mean, I think a lot of gamers look at games on mobile and still tend to dismiss them. There's over 300 games on the iPhone already.
But how many of them are terrible?
About 296.
Hold on. What did you say? How many of them are terrible?
All of them.
I would argue that Monkey Ball is decent, and it's the best-selling one. And my friend Ethan Einhorn, former Ziv employee, is a producer, and
it's hard.
But talking to him, he's inspired now that there's a chance to maybe make real good games on it. But it's a danger. Is that going to happen, or is it just going to be shitty ports of Flash games? Is it going to be crap that no one wants to buy? It depends on how Apple controls the marketplace. I'm afraid they're not going to. We'll see.
What if they brought out a peripheral to actually use the thing rather than the touchscreen?
With buttons?
Yeah, buttons.
Well, I'll buy into your argument there. I mean, I think that at the end of the day, what you have is a beautiful screen that's great for surfing the net. It's very intuitive for that sort of interface. But as a gaming platform, where's the controls? Where's the interface?
If you're going to add buttons to a beautiful screen, get a PSP.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I'm not even completely sold that mobile phone gaming is where it's at. But that's a whole other subject, isn't it? All right. This guy has, by the way, great question. Much appreciated. He has a totally rad show shirt.
Nice.
And we have 10 minutes. So we're at 10 minutes. 10 minutes. All right, so you have totally rad show shirt. Introduce yourself and give us a question. We got to rock and roll.
Okay. Zach, and quick question: Portal versus Braid. Go.
Portal.
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 All right, done deal. That was easy.
Wow.
Portal
At
again.
the end of the day, I laugh during Portal.
Excellent
Braid,
work.
I love it, but there's that point where I want to smack that kid.
Braid has better music. This is David, right?
That's true.
David brought us the plum wine.
The plum wine.
The plum wine. So,
Nice,
David,
thank
what do you
you.
got going on, man?
Drinking good health, guys. Swear to God, the Aussie took my question, but it's all good. It's all good. Cheers, mate.
Portal.
All right, so quick fun question. So many times in a review, we see Game X is really great, but it's not going to convince anyone who's not a fan of the genre. How many times, what's a game that you guys personally have had, just made you a fan of that genre? For me personally, it was Chrono Trigger. It made me go back and play Final Fantasy 2 and 3 on the Super Nintendo and anticipate further RPGs. How come we don't see, games that just, cross genre barriers and just make us fans of those genres? And
That's exactly what it was for me. Was Chrono Trigger and Civ
Civ
was good
yeah.
too. Yeah, Civ Rev is definitely a good.
Oh, I got one. Madden. Bizarrely, for a Brit.
Yeah, like all right. Madden 93 was my first sports game. It also taught me the rules of football.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy Tactics. I mean, I've always been a fan of strategy games, but oh, sorry. Well, we'll share it. Final Fantasy Tactics, man. You suddenly get why strategy RPG games really pull you in.
That's the only one I like, though. So I guess I don't care about the genre.
See, that's the problem.
It's like
There's always that one
Xerxes
revolutionary
of that
game.
game, of that genre. It's the king.
And also, Half-Life is the first FPS I ever played through, and only. And yeah.
That list has grown to 3.
Bring it.
Hi, my name's Ralph. The Aussie took my question. I was going to ask about iPhone gaming as well.
Hold on, the Aussie took my question too.
So I'm left with the sandwich question.
The meat. It's definitely the meat.
Bread.
It's
bread.
The sandwich question for anyone who doesn't know is bread
Bread.
versus meat.
Bread.
Meat.
Show of hands. Show of hands.
Wait,
Hold on. Show of hands.
question. It's all about the meat.
Thank you, Adam.
All about the meat.
End of story.
Meat.
Don't
Come on,
make me do
without the
a
meat,
soap
there's
opera
a
on this.
fucking sandwich.
It's a debate that will
sandwich.
rage throughout the
Grilled
ages.
cheese. Grilled cheese.
Bread.
Not a sandwich.
It's all about the bread.
Sandwich.
It's a finger food.
All right, moving right along. Bread.
Hello, I'm Isaac. Getting back to the honesty in journalism question, do you think that honesty sells? Because it seems like GFW kind of folded. EGM sometimes seems to have been having some hard times where things like Game Informer survives no matter what. Well, yes, but even then,
Let me ask, do you get Game Informer?
No, but like half my friends...
Does anyone here get Game Informer?
Yeah.
Did you get it because you wanted it or because they gave it to you? There you go.
Yeah, so I was just wondering if you ever worry that like the mainstream just wants more the happy story and the good reviews and all that.
I think a bigger problem is is the free press going away? Because in the realm, we give demos, when you can go online and watch a producer do a gameplay demo, why would you need to go read what we think of a game when you can play it yourself? So I think in a few years, when every system has demos you can download, the need for us to sell you games, tell you about games will be diminished. So then not honest reviews, well, you always need that, but in order for previews, you gotta get that information yourself.
Our roles might not be necessarily diminished, but definitely changed.
Yeah. Which is really a pity because a lot of demos out there blow, and they really are not demonstrative of the games that they're supposed to be trying to sell. They actually seem to work against them.
And there's still a value in long form critique too, even if you're not trying to sell
I
someone.
want to go back to what you said. You said that reviews are the only important, and that previews will go away. I think it would be the other way around. Because if there's a demo of everything, then everyone can make their mind up if they think it's good or not. But I think the one thing that the press will always have, and depending on how successful you are, you get better at this. But it's access. I mean, that's the one thing that the press has that because they can control the environment in which they're showing you and explaining the vision. And what always used to frustrate the crap out of me is after a bad review, when you get the inevitable call from the marketing director giving you a hard time for giving something 5 out of 10, when everybody else is giving it 8 out of 10, the guy that was there wasn't at the demo and didn't have the producer explain it to him. And it's this game has since sold 300,000 copies. What the fuck do you think happened with those people? And it's I think that the previews will constantly be the real meat of what the press provides, because you will be able to go out and give you a taste of something early.
And besides that, have you guys seen the internet once people are out there, they're going to talk about it. It's going to be on Tumblr, it's going to be on Twitter, it's going to be on Facebook. Everyone's going to be already doing those reviews.
For games journalism, I'd like to see it segue into more post-release analysis, critiques, like, headier stuff, not just product recommendations.
All right, we have quite a line. Here's what we're going to do. 30 seconds each on the next one. Here you go.
All right, my name is Peter. I'm from Bellevue. I was just wondering, you were talking about that first-person shooter for Wii, and you're saying, it's going to save the system. But like your Wii, mine is also collecting dust. I love Galaxy, and that's about it. And do we really? I mean, at this point, what's the point with the system? I mean, I work.
All right, let me stop it right there. What's the point with the Wii?
Wii Sports, we play.
Families.
I love dust.
Why do we care? Why do we care? Why do we care about the Wii?
Why do we care about the Wii?
Should we? And
I
why
want
do
the
we care about
virtual
the Wii?
console. My kids love video games because of the Wii. I mean, they're 3 and 5. It's how they got into it. So
it might not be for us, but John, perfect.
Absolutely
perfect.
I would be happy for the Wii to
It's the
exist.
marijuana of video games.
That's John Davis.
Will we be happy with it in 2 years though? Will you want to play?
No, you want to move on from the marijuana of video games to the the heavier
stuff.
All right, there you go.
Hey,
Then you still only get 30 seconds.
We said 30 seconds, dude.
I'll condense it. All right. You have the power with the internet or your show, whatever, to force all the consumers to do one thing. Buy an unappreciated game, change the industry somehow, whatever. What do you use the power of your medium to tell them to do? They have to
Chill the fuck out.
Done. Didn't even need 30 fucking seconds. Adam, anybody different?
Think for yourselves. Really. If the kid on the playground says it's cool, you can still say.
And
it's
you guys
not
know
cool.
my answer. Have freaking fun with your games. Simple.
Hey, Josh from Pennsylvania. I have 2 things. One, Garnett just asked, how many times do we use our bullshit filter? Every time I hear Shane talk.
Hang on. It sounds like you sort of planned that. Like that wasn't like a spontaneously awesome delivery.
Earlier,
you've been sitting on that. You're really excited for it. It's okay,
Real-
Shane. I got
real
you. You're like my
question.
sister.
Please ask the bullshit filter. Please ask the bullshit filter question.
Skip.
Yes.
When are you coming back to CQY? We have a contingent here. We want you back.
Lich King Beta. I'm back.
Thank you.
All right.
That's funny.
Cat room with you. Andrew, what server?
I forget. It's been that long.
Bailgun server, can't quit you. All right. Thanks, man.
All right, name's Jose, aka Blue Blur on NeoGAF. I just want to say, first of all, Garnet's the man. I know why you guys gotta hate all the time. Second, I was gonna talk about
I don't
Luke getting
hate
pwned by newbies all day over there, the Recon Challenge, but forget that. And Shane, why do you hate PSU if you were in the game?
I know, it's kind of ironic that I'm in that game, but too bad it sucks ass. I hope the PSP game is a step back in the right direction. They made it more like PSO.
You're in the game?
Yeah, Milky and I are both characters in the game.
Are you like a boss?
No, I give you like a item. I don't even know.
That's lame.
All right, we're running tight.
Hi, my name is Gabe. I really love this show. First thing, I think GFW Live should come to PAX next year. And also,
Absolutely. GFW should be here, without a doubt.
I agree.
Also, I was curious, do failed preview promises, like if a developer says that something's going to be in the game and it isn't in the game, does that affect your review score and how? Or why not?
That's a good one.
Yeah, four-player co-op.
Because I believe there was a game called, I don't even know, it was some strategy game. It was supposed to be like a Soviet country, and you were supposed to originally be able to pull out and see the entire city and manipulate it, and it wasn't. And when there's a game that's so sold on the basis of something like that, it's really hard even as a reviewer, even if you say, I can't diss it for what it doesn't have, it's really hard, like the original Fable. It's really hard to separate those two. So functionally, I say no, you can't fault it. I know I'm faulting it.
You also got to consider your readers who might not be aware that all this stuff got cut.
It's pretty common though, actually, for features, levels, characters get cut. We see it all the time.
I have to say that for me, a preview is a preview, and I'm going to look at it from the standpoint of a fan is looking at a preview to see what's going on in the game. A review is a whole other can of worms, and when you're reviewing a game, you're reviewing it. It doesn't matter what's been said before, it just matters what the game is. All right, you're up. Next to last, no pressure.
Yeah, none whatsoever. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Jason. All right, so I'm a former hardcore gamer turned casual gamer. My Xbox Live score is below 500, but my Wii is filled with downloadable games. Do you see the future of gaming in digital, distribution?
100%.
Absolutely.
In fact, like I think GameStop, they have things that right now they want you to buy used games and they want you to keep buying used games. But I think 5 years from now, no one's going to be going to a store to buy used games.
We have
You're gonna be downloading everything.
I don't think it's that soon because we have bandwidth issues we need to deal with, like Comcast.
Comcast is trying to cap bandwidth, but like the information must be free to go around, and I think
it's nice to want. It's nice to want things.
Yeah, I think Burnout on PSN is the future for sure.
Yeah, and I think next year every single PSP game will be downloadable.
I think the nice lady wants us to stop.
The nice enforcer. All right, dude, you're last. Bring it. Who is last here?
I'm Michael Gorman. I came from Pennsylvania. The PS3 is starting to overtake the 360 in sales, and the Wii is just dominating right now. And I want to know why you guys think that the PS3 is starting to beat the 360. Because it seems like the 360 has most of the games that the PS3 has. And do you think it's the stigma that came from the Red Ring of Death, or do you think it's the Microsoft haters, or why do you think that the 360 and the Xbox, they can't seem to reach the...
So you want us to finish off by playing Global Thermonuclear Console Wars?
Yes!
All right, guys, fight.
Price point is still the most prohibitive, that's the most prohibitive element about gaming right now, period. At the console and platform level, that's what it is.
I think on that note, keep on. Now I can see you. Go. So there's okay. Anyway, I was going to say
Blu-ray is a factor as well.
Yeah, but PS3, I think Blu-ray is a big factor. Although I don't know what the hell they're thinking, making a more expensive one when what everyone wanted is a cheaper one. I mean, like we keep going back up to $500, and didn't we already establish that doesn't work? I mean. But I think overall, the install base on 360 is still higher than PS3. I mean, I think but what I think could turn the tide is Little Big Planet.
But Cesar, what was your comment?
No, I was going to say, I think in people's minds they're getting a better bargain with a Blu-ray player and a game system without realizing that game system doesn't have a library that's anywhere near as robust as what you can get with the 360. But I think that, sometimes when you're buying one of those things, it's not just for you. You don't live by yourself. You're convincing your entire family while you're spending their budget to say, but honey, we have this wonderful high-def player that goes well with our TV. Boom, it gets into the house. I think that's going to start to taper off a little bit with the PS3, and someone has to drop the prices.
All right, you know where I'm at, right? I don't give a damn about the plastic box. It's about the games that play on the box. Who cares what it plays on?
Preach it, Garnet. Preach it.
Who cares about whether it comes through my internet or through a disc or through... I don't care.
I want you to make someone pass out so bad.
I just want a fun game to play.
I want you to knock someone out.
All right, everybody, mega props for showing up for this.
Thank you, everybody.
Fucking fantastic. Thank you. Tomorrow night, 21 and over at GameWorks, and
thanks to our guests, Luke, Adam, Totally Rad, Sean, Brad. Thank you guys for listening every week.
Until next week, we are Ghost, and the weekend is confirmed.